Lauro, and I'm counsel for Ms. Adelson.
And it's my understanding that the state is requesting the court to compel Ms. Adelson's testimony. Is that correct, Ms. Kaplan?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And based upon that, Ms. Adelson, testimony you provide and anything derived from this testimony cannot be used against you, but you will be required to answer all relevant questions. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right. Anything else you want to make?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Anything else?
No, sir.
Right away, Your Honor.
Jury,
Your Honor, could I just get an estimate on the time so I can tell the reporter?
I think she said about 45 minutes.
Would we then break after theirs and reserve cross for Tuesday?
No. We're going to finish today with this witness.
I understand. I don't believe that we're going to be able to do the deposition today.
That's up to you.
You guys can secure a reporter for us. We'll lose our reporter at 6.
Oh, tonight you mean? I'll have to work on that. Don't know.
We're waiting.
Jurors in the courtroom.
Safety. Everybody be seated, please. May I proceed, Ms. Kaplan?
All right, please introduce yourself and spell your name.
My name is Wendi Adelson, W-E-N-D-I-A-D-E-L-S-O-N.
How are you employed, Ms. Adelson?
I'm an attorney.
All right, and do you know?
Microphone.
She does that on purpose, doesn't she? Pacing. W-E-N-D-I. It's like, you know, fixing herself into position. Anyway, we're going to be looking at crazy Dan Markel. You know, Saint Markel. The brilliant legal mind. The colleague. The mentor. The brother. You know, it's just a little bit much, isn't it? So I wanted to give the Adelsons a shot and see exactly how they described him. Because the real thing, you gotta figure, is probably somewhere in the middle, right? He didn't walk on water unless the water was made of law. You know, he crossed the river of law. I don't know. I think the person who most oversells is actually Daniel Rashbaum.
Just a little bit, if you would, please, ma'am. All right.
I'm an attorney.
All right, how were you employed back in 2014?
I was employed at FSU Law School.
Okay, and were you a member of the Florida Bar at that time?
I answer everything like I'm trying to be careful answering a question on a quiz show. Isn't that exactly the thing? Because on a quiz show, you don't want to hesitate, but you also don't want to make a mistake, right? 50-50, phone a friend. What was that show called? Oh, shit. Ah.
Oh, tonight you mean? Markel.
He was my
Adelson.
Whoa.
I'm an attorney.
Yeah.
All right, and do you know?
Microphone up just a little bit, if you would, please, ma'am. All right.
I'm an attorney.
All right, how were you employed back in 2014?
I was employed at FSU Law School.
Okay, and were you a member of the Florida Bar at that time?
I was.
All right. And did you know Dan Markel?
Check. Check. Fact check. You were handing out name tags at alternative spring break, whatever that is. I ran an alternative spring break. I mean, even that sounds like a swingers thing, doesn't it? It's like you're going to attract the wrong crowd. You got all these, people showing up with the wrong expectations.
Markel?
Yes, I did.
How did you know Mr. Markel?
He was my husband.
When did you meet him?
He was my husband, obviously. What was that hesitation? What was that? What false human behavior was she trying to project then and get wrong? But it's not even clear what she was trying to do. That wasn't the quiz show thing. That was something else.
Markel?
He was my husband.
Okay, I mean, it seems to be like, why are you asking me, prosecutor? Are you unwell, prosecutor? Do you know who the fuck I am? Wendi, I'm the ex-wife. He was my husband. Got it?
When did you meet him?
We met.
Oh, that's just a beautiful one, isn't it? The big old eyes, look at that. Eyes to the skies. Think of a memory. Go back. Go into the memory of your mind and find that memory and then bring it back.
All right. And did you know Dan Markel?
Yes, I did.
How did you know Mr. Markel?
He was my husband.
When did you meet him?
We met in 2004.
Okay. And when did you marry?
Yeah, it was memorable. Yeah, I really couldn't tell you. That was when I was really starting to build up my body count. So I think it was Markel. I think it was Markel. It could have been. It was definitely an M sound name. Let's go with Markel, 2004. My final answer.
We married in 2006.
Did you ever live in Tallahassee?
I did live in Tallahassee.
When did you first move to Tallahassee?
We
Hey Wendi, when you go to a restaurant, do you need to use a different kind of fork to eat with those lips? I mean, since you got the lips, do you have to, is there like a special fork? I'm just wondering how it affects how you eat, you know? Do you have to choose different things? Can you only eat foods that are shaped like dicks, or what? And that's a mind fuck, isn't it? You know how many great foods are shaped like dicks? The best kinds.
moved to Tallahassee in the fall, August of 2005, and we lived in Tallahassee that academic year, so from 2005 until the summer of 2006, and then we spent a year living in Miami from 2006 to 2007.
This is just a fucking, I gotta give it to her on this. That was a masterclass in how to make a question sound like you're being really clear, but just creating a fucked minefield of nonsense. And the great tactic, throwing in the thing about an academic year, that fucks up anyone. Why does that even work like that? What idiot came up with that? Yeah, we're going to have an academic year that starts in September. We're going to have a normal year, and then, for fun, a whole second year that runs at the same time but starts 9 months later. I mean, is that like the academic test? If you can't work that out, then you're it doesn't matter, because you're not going to be in academia, okay? But come on, who are we blaming for that? The Greeks? Why don't they just start it in January? Then you got your financial year, fiscal year. What's that? That's like April. I mean, we can do better than that. We can start them all at once. We make the decisions. We dictate the terms, not them. Come on, just put it all in January or September. Just pick. I mean, and September should be the 7th month, right? October should be the 8th, and so on. I mean, just it's all wrong.
And then I lived back in Tallahassee from 2007 to 2014.
Why did you move to Tallahassee the first time?
The first time we moved to Tallahassee for Danny's job. He got a job at FSU Law School.
All right, and what about the second time?
And the second time we moved back to Tallahassee because he had tried to get a job at University of Miami Law School and it didn't work out.
All right, so both times it was for his employment?
Yes,
Okay, did you like living in Tallahassee?
I did.
All right, and did you live on
What was your favorite part? Tell us about the movie theater, Wendy. Tell us about the sticky seats and the old shaggy carpet and the popcorn machine that doesn't work. Tell us about that, Wendy. What would she say? Oh, I was involved in book club and God, brilliantly played in the interview. And not everyone could do it, right? We can't forget. We mustn't forget. Not everyone could do it. Not everybody could walk into an interrogation room, basically, as a person of immense interest, right, in the case, and just say, "Oh, I've been getting texts about book club," and pull it off. Not everybody could do it. She did.
Prescott Drive?
We did. That was our home.
And where are you from, Ms. Adelson?
I'm from Broward County originally.
That was our home, yeah. The one with the blood running down the driveway. You see that home with the blood? That was our home. The blood home. Let's go to the comments. Hello, Michelle. How you doing? Pie Bird. Spacey Dove. Good to see you. Good to see you. And everyone else. Miss Pugsy. Ran. Which trial year is this? Trial 1. Got to find everything she says about that crazy Markel and build a picture over time. Maybe. No, we're just going to warm up. It's been a while. Go to your strengths. Put Wendy on. We'll see where we go. Let's just get something on.
Okay, and do you have family members in Broward currently?
I have one family member in Broward.
One family member. Would that be, what, an uncle? Cousin? I have one family member. My third cousin's second husband's father's niece. One removed family member is fucking removed now, isn't he, Wendy? Where is he? Not in Broward anymore, no? No, where is he? Oh. Jail. Well, not even in Florida. They sent him all the way up there to South Dakota. The worst one.
Where do you live currently? Or you can just tell us.
I live in Miami-Dade County.
Yeah, right on the beach, huh? And that little, what is it? South of 5th. Blew my mind. No, what is it? South of 5th, yeah. For like the last 10 years, I was thinking it was South and 5th, right? That's kind of unusual, isn't it? South of 5th. Places aren't described like that usually.
And
They are in
about your
Miami.
parents, where do they live?
They currently live in Miami-Dade County.
All right. And what about your brother, Charles Adelson?
He lives in Broward County.
All right. And do you have any children?
I do.
And how many children do you have?
I have 2 children.
What are their ages?
They are 10 and 8, turning 9 soon.
Old enough to be suspicious, or not. Hey, Patricia Burns, what's up? Yeah, I had my last piece of Walker's shortbread today, and it was all right. It was good.
Okay. Both boys?
Both boys.
And both the biological children of Dan Markel?
Yes.
Well, maybe. Biological. Good question, actually. We never did do a full test. Both the Georgia was actually interested there, I think, for the record. Because we tried to find out, phoned the hospital, they didn't know, no records. Are they both the biological children of Dan Markel? Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah.
How are your family members employed, specifically your parents and your brother?
My
all
mom is
dentists. Teeth. We like teeth. Yeah. I wonder if they all had, conversations about, the latest brush. Have you seen the new Oral-B? No, the new Oral-B is, I can't think of anything exciting to say about a toothbrush, really, but they could, and that's the point, isn't it, really? That is the point. Just around the dinner table. Hey, what are you going to brush out with after dinner? Sensodyne. That's for suckers.
not currently working very much. She helps out with my dad's office. My dad,
Yeah, not working much anymore either. I'm trying to think, what year are we now? 2026, right? Okay, so this was 7 years ago. A lot changed. But just imagine right up until this point, even with Katie and Sigfredo's arrest and all of that in 2016, so you got to think for the first 2 years. I'm trying to think, what would the sweet spot be? The sweet spot would be, because although they were really blasé, the Adelsons, about, Katie started getting her tits real soon after. They weren't like keeping it shut down for long. But you got to think there must have been a bit of paranoia following the thing. So let's say 6 months to a year of like, oh my God, are they going to get us? Probably only 6 months, right? And then there would be another 18 months until the bump, when they really started to worry. And then people started getting arrested real quick. But not Charlie. So... But that little period, 6 months after the murder, all the way up until the bump, that must have been the sweet spot. We're so cool. We can do whatever the fuck we want and not get caught because we pay the Latin kings to do it for us. And they're experts. Surgical. It was surgical. They went in, ghosts. Absolute ghosts, Latin ghosts, went up to Tallahassee, flew up, well, in a car. Yeah. They must have just been feeling really badass, especially Charlie. I bet he fucking loved this. This was the best year of his life. Not only was he doing all of his bullshit that he was doing before, but he had masterminded and got involved with the gangsters and paid the money and come up with this scheme and got some tits for the girl he was fucking and a new boat and go-kart and whatever the fuck. I mean, for him, that was like the best period of his life. Trips away, Barcelona.
Dad is a dentist, and my brother Charlie is a periodontist.
Just say dentist. I mean, it's just a dentist. It's just another dentist.
And does your family have a dental practice in South Florida
They do.
that they own and operate?
They do.
Is your family in South Florida wealthy? I know it's a relative term.
Are you asking me to speculate?
Yeah, I am asking you to speculate. I want to know what your favorite food to eat is that looks like a dick. Hot dog, corn dog, fudgesicle. What? Choose, please.
No, I'm asking if they're wealthy.
Speculate.
If you don't know, you say you don't know.
It depends how you define wealthy.
Okay. Are they millionaires?
No.
No. They it's ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, yeah.
When did you separate from Mr. Markel?
We separated in the fall of 2012.
And was part of the reason for your disagreement or separation having to do with how to raise the children in terms of your faith?
Yes, we had different ways of practicing our faith.
Okay. Do you know when you filed for divorce?
I believe it was the fall of 2012.
Okay, 9/10/2012 sound right to you?
That sounds right.
And when you separated initially in the fall of 2012, did you move to South Florida with the kids?
No, I did not.
You didn't go to South Florida with the kids?
No, I did not.
Was it your desire during that time to move with the children to South Florida?
I would say right then, no, it wasn't.
Are you familiar with a court order ordering you to come back to Tallahassee from South Florida?
I'm not familiar with that.
When you moved out from the marital home there on Trescott Drive, you lived at another residence in Tallahassee, is that correct?
I did.
And do you recall the address there?
I do. 3303 Aqua Ridge Way.
Okay. And was there a time during the time that you were living there at Aqua Ridge that you determined that you would like to move to South Florida with the children.
There was.
All right. And were your parents very involved in trying to facilitate that relocation?
My parents were supportive of me moving to South Florida.
Would you describe your parents as being over involved in your personal business?
As compared to other people's parents,
Yeah.
I don't know.
What was the child custody schedule?
So that was just another form of, are you asking me to speculate, right? It wouldn't have made any sense if Wendy's answer to the question, what was it? Would you describe your parents as being overly involved in your business? If she'd have just said, I don't know, like a Stephen McDaniel fucker, that wouldn't have been even approaching acceptable. But her phrasing of like, are you, as opposed to other people's parents that I would know nothing about because they're not my parents. Impossible to answer. It's a trick question. You're badgering the witness. Objection.
When you were living at Aqua Ridge, and I assume Mr. Markel continued to live in the marital home on Trescott.
He did.
Okay, what was the custody situation with the kids?
So the custody situation changed over time and depending on the part of the year. But I think in the beginning,
You're damn right the custody situation changed over time, Wendy. I mean, you stole them away. He wanted them back. You fought him to remove them from his life. He said, no way. And then your family popped two in the head, and now you have the full custody. So when you say the custody situation changed over time, I think we're going to have to put that on a t-shirt. I love that. Just that. The custody situation changed over time. And perhaps just a picture of a gun underneath. Would that be inciting violence or hate? I wouldn't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So we'll make it a water pistol.
we would do a Wednesday night overnight. It was about 50-50 shared custody, but I don't remember the exact arrangement. I do remember in the summertime it would switch to week on, week off, but during the school year it was slightly different.
Another one. I mean, she's in 2019, I gotta say, she's fucking good at this. Answering a question that on face value appears to be going above and beyond to give you useful information as the listener, right? That's what it feels like. But if you really zone in, there is zero content being achieved or offered here, okay? And it's done in this way that's just like emptying a bag of ugly snakes all over the rug and tying them all up together, you know? Just in a big mess, a big snake mess. That's what her, she's fucking good at it though. Because of training. Because of training.
Kids.
So the custody situation changed over time and depending on the part of the year. But I think in the beginning, we would do a Wednesday night overnight. It was about 50-50 shared custody, but I don't remember the exact arrangement. I do remember in the summertime it would switch to week on, week off, but during the school year it was slightly different.
So still 50-50, but not necessarily every other week. It was mixed up within the week.
It was.
Okay. And you mentioned that you did develop a desire to move to South Florida. Did you file a motion to that effect on January 14th, 2013?
That sounds, I did file a motion. I don't remember the exact date.
Okay.
but that sounds a
Yeah, it was 50-50. Yeah, we wanted everything to be 50-50. We wanted everything to be kosher. 50-50. That's why I took 50-50. That's why I took half the dining chairs and sawed the breadboard in half. She probably fucking did, didn't she? In the kitchen with an angle grinder. What are you doing? I'm cutting the breadboard in half. Okay. Well, you just take the whole thing. It's like worth $7.
about right.
All right, and in that motion, did you make some allegations that Mr. Markel was making things difficult for you at work?
I did.
Okay. And was that motion granted or denied?
That motion was denied.
All right, denied with prejudice?
It was denied. My motion against my ex-husband was denied, and I was relieved. I was happy at my job. I filed that motion. No, I think there may have been a chance, but probably not. And when it didn't come through, I was relieved. Okay.
I don't remember.
Okay.
If you have it, I'm happy to take a look.
Okay, but in any event, you were not able to move at that.
I mean, what she will get to whenever she says that thing about being relieved, but I guess what she's doing is offsetting the motivations and responsibilities for whoever, whether it was Donna, whether it was Charlie, whatever meddler was running things that week. She was relieved because the motion would have been the desire of one of those ugly meddlers, right? That's why she was relieved. Well, we'll come back to it. Well, we'll wait for it to come up, I should say.
I did not move.
And were you upset about being stuck in Tallahassee?
I was relieved.
You were relieved. You wanted to stay in Tallahassee.
Yeah, I was relieved. And I had just bought a fake house on Liars Drive in Benton Hills. So I was happy and relieved, but mostly happy.
I was happy at my job.
What, the name tag job? Did you have like a whole system? Was it alphabetical or by order of importance? Like how you laid them out? I guess it depends on the event, right, Wendy? I mean, sometimes you have like special delegates and then speakers and, you know. But did you invent your own system? Any good tips? Color coding or alphabetizing? Chronological. What about if you put all the people that you'd slept with, laid out their name tags on one table, and then on another table, lay out all the name tags of the people you're going to sleep with? Would that be a system? Could we call that the Wendi system? That will be your legacy, your design? Good. Happy at your job. Yeah.
Okay. Do you recall when your divorce to Mr. Markel became final?
The summer of 2013.
Okay, July 31st sound about right?
That sounds right.
Would you consider your divorce with Mr. Markel to be a nasty divorce?
I think most divorces aren't very pleasant.
Okay, but this one was like really unpleasant, right?
You know, I think part of her regression into babyface Wendy, I make a little babyface to say when I'm thinking or remembering or not sure. I make a little babyface. Yeah. No, when I'm on the stand, I'm, whatever. But the reason she's got that ridiculous regressional behavior into babyface, I think possibly during whatever coaching she may or may not have had, they said, hey, you know what? Just when the prosecutor's up there and she's asking you questions, just picture you're talking to one of your little baby boys, okay? Schminkin or Schmenjamin, one of those guys. Yeah, because what other reason would there be for her ridiculous regressional behavior into babyface? I mean, it's check it out again. There was just a really good one. I don't know.
Upset about being stuck in Tallahassee?
I was relieved.
You were relieved. You wanted to stay in Tallahassee.
I was happy at my job.
That was a nice one. The head bob nod, right? You can just imagine her talking to one of her spoiled children like that, right?
I was happy at my job.
Okay. Do you recall when your divorce to Mr. Markel became final?
The summer of 2013.
Okay, July 31st sound about right?
That sounds right.
Would you consider your divorce with Mr. Markel to be a nasty divorce?
I think most divorces aren't very pleasant.
Okay, but this one was like really unpleasant, right?
I found getting divorced to be unpleasant, yes.
And in the
Did you catch that? In her Wendy mind, she just went, are you asking me to speculate? Oh no, I can't use that. I've already used that. Then she was going to go, what's the other one she likes to do? As opposed to another thing that I don't know. And she didn't have anything left. So she just, what was it now?
and in the litigation that ensued between the two of you, you guys argued over things as small as a tennis racket.
Oh yeah, the thing. But this divorce was like really unpleasant, right? And she couldn't go, as opposed to other people's divorces. Are you asking me to speculate? She'd already done that. So she just went, I think most divorces are unpleasant. I found getting divorced to be unpleasant. I can only own my own testimony. You're not going to trick me, Kappelman.
I noticed in one pleading.
I don't remember that.
Did he threaten to press kidnapping charges against you?
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled.
I don't remember
Remember
that.
that?
No.
Did he threaten to go after your law license? Remember that?
I don't remember.
You see, she's really steering clear of that, isn't she?
Remember that, no.
Do you remember him saying you failed to disclose a bunch of assets in the divorce process?
I do remember that.
Okay, did you guys have any mediations as part of your divorce?
We did have mediations leading up to settlement.
2 8-hour mediations, correct?
I don't remember how long they were, but they seemed very long.
Yeah, and they both did not result in a resolution.
They did not.
All right, but you did reach a settlement, I think kind of just on the eve of a trial on the matter, correct?
That sounds right.
You gotta wonder what she would have been saying no to in those mediations, right? You can imagine that Professor Markel was coming up with anything, willing to give anything, but not relocation. Bending over backwards to come up with something to show her that he was being reasonable and hopefully inspire her to do the same and not even meet him halfway. I'm pretty sure he would have gone at least 91% of the way. And all she had to do was 9. And she's like, no, it's my way or nothing. No, no. What would he have been coming up with? I'll move to Gainesville. We'll move to Boca. No, it's Miami. We've already got a place. I'm not losing the deposit. No. 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 I mean, it must have 8 hours. 2 8-hour mediations. Do you think it took so long because Wendi was trying to come up with something fair? No.
Do you remember this motion that was filed by your deceased ex-husband on March 26, 2014, involving, among other things, that had to do with your mother, an allegation that your mother was disparaging the children?
Objection,
I'm
issues
sorry.
any hearsay.
Overruled.
Disparaging him to the children is what I meant to say. Are you familiar with that pleading?
I am familiar with that pleading.
All right, and in that pleading, did he allege that you were depriving him of physical access to the children?
I don't remember the specifics.
Do you recall whether he was complaining about you refusing to communicate with him about right of first refusal to the children during your time with them?
I know he was frustrated about the Skyping.
Lack of communication via Skype?
It's
between
hard
he
to
and the
Skype
children?
with 2 toddlers, yes.
All right, and
Hard to Skype with 2 toddlers, huh? Yeah, I'll bet. Yeah, what else is it hard to do with 2 toddlers? Climb a ladder, maybe. Not to mention dangerous. Climb a 30-foot ladder with a child in each arm. In flip-flops. Would that be child abuse? I bet it would be in some states. Anna, is this social services? I want to report a man that lives in the house opposite me. He's climbing a ladder to the roof, carrying 2 3-year-olds at once. It probably would be child abuse, wouldn't it? Well, not in 1954.
in that motion, do you recall him being upset about an allegation that you let the kids eat non-kosher foods?
I remember him being upset about that in general, but I don't remember whether it was in a motion or not.
What does that mean, non-kosher foods?
So kosher rules have to do with the separation of milk and meat, or dairy and meat. So non-kosher foods would be meat that hasn't been killed in a way that conforms with Jewish law, or the mixing of the two.
And is observing those types of eating habits something that's important to you?
It is not important to me.
And was it something that was important to Dan Markel?
It was important to Danny.
And it was important to him that the children observe that way of eating, correct?
It was.
And in that motion, did he seek to
It was important, but it was also important to me that they eat bacon towers daily, you know. It started out as bacon towers, then Benjamin worked out, boy genius that he is, that if you turn the tower upside down, you have a bacon cone, which you can then fill with more bacon. Sometimes all different kinds, Canadian, streaky, smoked, unsmoked, lardons.
restrict your mother's contact with the kids to supervised visits only?
I don't remember, but if you'd like to show me the motion, I can take a look.
Okay, but you don't.
Yeah, I don't remember. There were so many motions. He wanted the children to eat and be healthy. Dick that he was. He wanted them to eat and be healthy and educated. Asshole. And also to be observant of the faith that we'd agreed to raise them in before their births. But I should be able to change my mind.
I don't remember that portion.
No.
All right. Do you remember the allegation?
Shrug it off. Not only a big shoulder shrug, but the coupling of the downturned mouth there. I mean, it's almost like her shoulders and her big ass fake lips are connected by the same string. Let's go back there. Look at that. Is that right there? There's a little twist, right?
Of that way of eating, correct?
It was.
And in that motion, did he seek to restrict your mother's contact with the kids to supervised visits only?
Pancetta Towers. Love it, Michelle. That's great. Pancetta Towers. And what could we stuff that with? We'll stuff it with gabagool.
I don't remember, but if you'd like to show me the motion, I can take a look.
Okay, but you don't remember that portion.
No.
All right. Do you remember
Yeah, couldn't tell you. Sorry.
the allegation that your mother made statements to the children that
It's another thing. You know, what did we say earlier? That her saying that she was relieved does somehow subtly feed into the idea that it wasn't even her desire to move to Tallahassee, to Miami, South Florida, whatever. Similarly, this one, what was it again?
that grandma hates you.
Oh yeah, the motion to. Was there a motion to preclude my mother from having unsupervised visitation rights? Dunno. No idea. You know. At immediate face value, that just looks like an outright lie. But if you look a little bit closer, it just feeds into the idea. Essentially, what would be consistent with that statement would be the statement of, hey, listen, I don't know. I don't know anything about the motions. My mother wanted me to marry this guy. I did. She wanted me to get a divorce. I did. She sent me to these mediations. I went. And then I came out and all the motions and stuff, I gave it to my lawyer to give to her lawyer to give to her. I don't know what was in them. I didn't read this shit. I'm a puppet, and my mother's hand has been up my ass for 38 years. You know? So do you think there's going to be an arrest? Do you think they're going to arrest her? Because some people are saying, I don't think there'll be an arrest. And some other people are saying, I really think there's going to be an arrest. I don't know. I mean, it's difficult to call. When those letters started getting sent to people, my impression was that she and her legal team were anticipating an arrest. And those letters were, to support her plea for a Arthur hearing, or however you want to put that terminology better, more gooder. If you can make my terminology gooder, go right ahead. It's our first show in a while. So how has everyone been doing? Where have you been? Where have I been? I've been right here.
grandma says you're stupid, your father is trying to take my sunshines away, anything like that? Do you recall?
No, but again, I'm happy to look at it if you'd like to show me.
I
Yeah,
understand.
happy to help. Happy to help. love Georgia. Love Georgia's little touch. I understand. You know, it's very like, listen, I don't need you to try and demonstrate to the jury. You're not going to manipulate my jury here into looking helpful when I know exactly what you're doing and exactly what you're lying about. You know, I don't know, but like I'm happy to look. I understand, It's like back off. Don't hold the door open for me. Okay, it's like if your enemy. I don't know. If your enemy holds the door open for you, do you take it or do you say fuck you and push them to the ground? The second one, obviously, right? Fuck you, push them to the ground.
Do you recall that Mr. Markel was seeking sanctions against you personally in that motion?
I don't remember that.
Do you know whether this would have been a motion that you would have shown to your mother? Would she have been aware of it?
I probably would have shown my mom the motion.
Is it fair to say that your parents are very protective of you?
I think that's fair to say.
Is it fair to say that your brother is very protective of you?
I think that's fair to say.
Okay. What about Dan Markel? Did your family like him?
Do you want to specify a point in time?
Yeah, how about leading up to the murder? That'll be, Did your parents like Dan Markel? Do you want to specify a point in time? Sure, I'll specify a point in time. Well, up until his early death, from when they met. I mean, it's only 6 years. Oh no, what is it? 8. And when do I guess it could have been 10 years.
Well, I'm specifically thinking of a statement you made in the interview after his death, where you indicated that your
Parents would have more reason to kill him than anyone else, but I don't think they did it. Because they wouldn't. They never would. My brother said he would, but he wouldn't. That's basically what she said. You know, my brother always said he wanted to kill Markel, but he would never do this. He's just a busy periodontist from South Florida. He works hard. Oh, he's busy working all the time, so if you need to find him, he'll be easy to find because he's so busy. So working. Oh, God, you know, I know maybe some of you don't want me to go through Wendy's interrogation again. But it's going to happen, okay? Because I feel like it's been too long. You know, I think it needs to be at least once every week. Right? No, every 3 months or so, we need to go back and just do the whole thing again. And I started doing this. I started like editing Wendy's testimony here into just the questions about Dan Markel, right? And then I thought, what are you doing, you idiot? Why would you cut any of this out? Just watch the whole thing. You know, and I have to say that it's difficult to find an answer as to why you wouldn't, right? Every moment is great, just as good as the one before it, and the one that's about to come right after it.
parents were very angry with him. Is that accurate?
At that point in time, during our divorce, I do think they were angry with him. They felt like he had treated me badly.
And the motion to preclude your mom from having
Treated you badly, like what? Like what? I mean, let's give Wendy full benefit of the doubt and speak about Professor Markel in the worst imaginable realistic light. What would he have done? I mean, could he be, what is the word? Superior all the time? I mean, he does look like someone who could piss you off. Yeah? Walking in with his, I mean, I know all of this stuff about him being this, like, this brilliant legal mind. I mean, he's just a fucking lawyer. Okay, he went to Harvard. They're all good that went to Harvard, aren't they? I mean, that's the point. It's like, what do the people at Harvard say? Are they all up there going, "Oh my God, the legal profession just lost a whatever," I think he was just a normal lawyer that liked to go on stage. I mean, I think maybe he thought he was a superstar, right? I have to go to my conference now. No, I'm busy, and that'll have to wait till after my conference. What did I just say? What did I just say? I'm going to my conference in New York City. I mean, you could imagine, right? It would be really annoying. I told you I want whitefish salad in the fridge when I get home. I need brain food for my fabulous brain. My legal mind needs whitefish salad, okay? Protein. Lean protein. Get these kids out of the way. This is my thinking. This is where I do my most profound thinking, my legal thinking. It's like it's the toilet, man. You think on the toilet just like the rest of the world. What else would he do? No, we're not going to that place, that restaurant. No professor would be seen dead in that place. It's not kosher to go there. I mean, what else would he do? From now on, the children will only be reading the Torah and a full one, a big scroll that they will have to spread all over the living room floor. That's how I want it. That's the right kind of Jewish for us. What other things could he do? I don't know. What other great annoying things would Professor Markel do to Wendy? Oh, I think they thought he treated me badly. I'm not dealing with this now. After my we'll speak after my conference.
having unsupervised contact with your kids, that was still pending at the time of his murder, correct?
That's possible. I mean, I don't think anyone took that motion very seriously.
Okay. Did your mom take it seriously?
I don't think so.
Did Dan Markel take it seriously?
I don't know how Danny felt about a motion.
I mean, look at that one. Oh, look at that. That shoulder shrug, too much.
Unsupervised contact with your kids, that was still pending at the time of his murder, correct?
That's possible. I mean, I don't think anyone took that motion very seriously.
Okay. Did your mom take it seriously?
I don't think so.
Did Dan Markel take it seriously?
Okay. Whatever the question is, this expression means I don't give a fuck, lady. Why would I care about how dead Markel, dead Dan Markel, poor dead Dan Markel felt about a legal motion. I didn't give a fuck then, I don't give a fuck now. That's not I don't know, it's I don't care. And I think it's, Wendi thinks it's funny that she's even being asked, because she can't imagine why anyone would think that she gave the first shit about this, right? Why are you asking me?
I don't know how Danny felt about a motion. If he wrote the motion, he was probably taking it seriously.
I want to approach with some emails. Have you had an opportunity to review State's Exhibit 80?
Your Honor, could I see what the state's of approaching?
Kawas wanted to say something. Unfortunately for Kawas, it was just something that she hadn't, wasn't prepared. What is that exhibit? That was your only objection. Okay.
Your Honor, and I don't know if you want to do it now, or I'm gonna request a sidebar on this.
What's that?
I'm gonna request a sidebar on this, Judge.
We'll let her identify first.
This is State's Exhibit 80. Just take a moment and flip through, make sure this is the exhibit you reviewed previously.
I've been shown these exhibits.
Okay. And are these exhibits fair and accurate copies of emails between yourself and your mother, Donna Adelson?
They are.
Okay. And the email addresses on this exhibit, donnaharvey@gmail.com. Whose address is that?
My parents have a joint email address.
Okay, but you were communicating with one of them in particular and these emails, right?
Whoever signed the email, but it could be from either or both of them.
Okay, either could have used it, but we can deduce from who signed it who this one was from?
That sounds right.
Okay, and WendiAdelson@gmail.com, is that you?
That is me.
All right, Judge, at this time, I ask to move into evidence, State's Exhibit.
We'll go sidebar.
Has she color coordinated her fake contact lens bullshit eye color lenses with the sparkle in her earring studs? I mean, right there, that is just the right type of bluish green hue, right? Where's our color expert? Who is our color expert? I think it was a cappella, wasn't it? Color expert. Yeah, we'll have to send him some business cards. Now, would you like color to be spelt with or without a U? Without, I guess, and especially for Maria, who can proofread before we print. Welcome back, Maria. Color. What was his job title now? Color expert. Yeah. Well, I don't think he's here, but we'll be sure to consult with him at some later stage. The judge. I didn't see him leave. He's not supposed to do that. We have to make allowances. We have to make allowances because he was quite ill during this trial, wasn't he? He died. Just a short time after trial, dead.
Been said,
Do you know much about your brother Charles Adelson's business practices?
I know that he
Yeah. Well, which ones? The steroids, the anabolic injection steroids, injectables. You get any injectables? Injectables. It sounds like Lunchables. You know those little horrible shit piece of shit things that they used to have for giving to kids to take to school. It was like a pre-packaged packed lunch. Man, what was in that? Can we check that out? Let's go to the history. Let's go to the history. Do they still have that? I bet they fucking do, don't they? What was in it? It was like a little crackers thing, Lunchables. Oh no. Oh man, you gotta see this. It's quite the selection. Well, how big is that? Fit to screen. Look at that. Fuck. Light balloon. Pepperoni. Man, look at that. Who is giving that to their kids? And, nachos, it's just too much. Why did this even come up? Oh, because injectables. Just sounds like a funny word, doesn't it?
does implant surgery.
Do you know anything about whether he offers discounts for cash or does a lot of business in cash?
I have no idea.
Do you know if there's a safe in your parents' house that has stacks of cash inside?
The box has more nutrition. I love that. Yeah, the cellophane wrap. Hey, look. Stacy T S4E. Tonight's my lucky night. Is M live with you? Good to see you, Stacy and Barbara.
I don't know about a safe with stacks of cash.
So you don't have a stack of cash in your parents' safe. That's Wendy's stack.
No.
Okay.
Wendy's stack. Again, that's what you do with Lunchables, isn't it? You stack them. I'm sure that was part of the marketing campaign. That's what made kids think it was fun, right? You get to stack your own lunch. It's just like working in a factory. which, ironically, is probably where you're going to end up if you eat this shit every day. You know, which is fine. Noble work, but repetitive. That's why they call it a factory.
Did Charlie Adelson like Dan Markel? And again, I'm referring to the time frame before his death.
I mean, I think he was also,
His opinion changed over time. Can you imagine Charlie, like, after meeting Professor Markel with Wendi and the parents, and then later when Markel is gone and Wendy's there, Charlie's there, Donna's there, Harvey's there, Charlie, what would he have been saying? Something tells me he would have most likely done and probably built into a long-standing routine several extensive, unflattering impressions of Dan Markel. Which I actually would really like to see. Oh, just let your minds, you all know the case. You all know who Charlie is and the kind of thing he would do inappropriately. You can imagine it yourself. You don't need me. Just take your mind there, because it's brilliant. Whatever he would have done, it would have been hilarious, in hilarious bad taste. Hey, thanks so much for this super sticker, Stacey. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. If anyone wants to support on our PayPal, there's a link in the description. If anyone wants to buy us a cup of coffee over on buymeacoffee.com, there's a link in the description too. And we appreciate it.
he would listen to me when I would tell him about things I was upset about at the time of the divorce. So whether he liked him or didn't like him,
he would listen to me. Charlie Adelson doesn't listen. He talks over you. He talks over anybody, everybody. That's his thing. He would listen to me when I would need to find the solace of consultation. He would listen to me when I was pouring out my heart after the abuse I was suffering. And he told me that you can't have an unhappy mom. Oh, whatever it was. I mean, that would never happen. It's not believable. It's perjury, and you don't have an immunity deal. Because the agreement was that you're not allowed to lie. This is a lie. But can it be shown to be a lie? I don't know. What are you saying? That by magic, Charlie Adelson is only a fucking dick when he's in court or on the phone. But when he's just you and him, he's like a really nice guy. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's possible. But is it reasonable?
certainly was supportive of me.
Okay, but he never expressed any dislike.
No.
Yeah, it's such a major tell. The fucking mouth corner down thing. I mean, why is she even doing it? That was a very quick flash one, wasn't it? I mean, it was there and then it went. I think she's getting onto the fact of like, oh shit, I'm doing that too much as my thing for when I'm saying something that's full of shit. Like, oh, so Charlie Adelson never said anything to indicate that he disliked Markel? No. Stop doing the mouth thing. Her brain is telling her, stop doing the mouth thing. Hey, look at this. Trial Watchers Guild. That's, so you've changed your name. I see. That's great. Hello, Christina. How are you? And, yeah.
Did he mention hiring a hitman to kill your husband?
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled.
No.
Did he mention hiring a hitman to kill your husband? No. Did he make a joke about a hitman killing your husband? Yes. What? No, she's going to say, he did make that joke. That is astonishing. I don't know, I don't know what the bad act is, because that thing that she does when she's like, he did make that joke. You know, that fits into some situation or thing that happens, right? There's a place where you could do that thing where you wide-eyed, he did make that joke. It's like this, what is it? It's like realizing the irony or something. But Wendi always does this. She takes a human emotion that she's seen on TV, misapplies it where she thinks it belongs because of bad training, and it just comes out as a mess. Doesn't it? A complete fucking mess. I mean, what do you say about a legal system that allows the clear psychopath to walk free in your society? Is that a good idea? And what do you say to that? You say, oh, she slipped through the net. You can't get them all. Better to let one go free than send 10 guilty men to jail. What is it? Better let 10 guilty men go free. Well, it depends which. Not 10 of this. That would be the end of the world. We should put all men in prison rather than let 10 of these bitches out. A psycho like this? I mean, there's no excuse, and I think you should be not sleeping until she's rounded up and securely locked away, removed from society, and kept in isolation as well. I think that's important. The only possible thing that could contain the evil here is really, really thick concrete walls, right? And like layers and layers of heavy iron gates. That's exactly what we need here. I think the opposite is true. I think it would be better to let 10 murderers free. 10 of the biggest names in crime. Chris Watts, Jodi Arias, Chandler Halderson, Sarah Byrne, Scott Peterson. Set them all free just to get this one. That's how we should be approaching this. That's how America should be approaching this, right? Not telling you what to do, just giving you an international perspective.
Did he ever joke about he looked into hiring a hitman, but buying you a TV as a divorce present would be cheaper?
He did make that joke. He tended to repeat himself, and sometimes he would make jokes that weren't very...
He did make that joke. Can you believe it? That's so weird. Oh, it makes me feel sick watching that. And I can't even think about where the right place for that sentence to go would be. And I don't really think it exists, because it's just bad soap opera acting, right? He did make that joke. I hate that so much. I hate that so much. I just, you know.
very funny about all kinds of things.
All right, and was that TV, did he buy you a TV as a divorce
He
president?
did.
And was that TV the same TV that was being repaired at your residence at the time that your husband was murdered?
It was.
Who made the arrangements for that TV repair?
I did.
Your mom didn't make those arrangements?
I don't believe so.
Nothing about the TV is ever going to get her, right? I mean, what could get her? Because anyone waiting for... I mean, seriously, go to the group. Go to the group. Who in comments has an opinion about what Wendi Adelson might be caught with? Because certainly it seems that at least what's been shown in the cases so far, Katie's case, Sigfredo's case, Charlie's case, Donna's case, all four of them, that stuff that's been shown publicly doesn't seem like enough, does it? So it's none of that. Of course, the prosecution will have more materials, but not anything. Wendi never said the word murder. Never said, Wendi never said the word murder. Never had a sit down and said, how do we get this done? Nothing like that ever happened once. So how do you get her? I guess you get her on what? People are most likely going to say that she will be got on things like telling Jeff Lacasse, we have to get back. We have to get back for that Friday. I have to pick up the kids that day. I cannot fly back from California that day. No way. I have to be there that day. People are going to say to that. But you know why they focus on that? Because of Jeff's telling of it. That's the point in his interview where he's going, that date meant something to me before it even happened. The drum beat, it was like a drum beat. Something was moving towards this date. Something's going to happen. That's it. All that kind of theatrics. That he put on it. And I say theatrics, I don't mean that like that he was lying. He's just quite theatrical, but he was definitely getting across the message that it felt like something to him, right? But even if it's completely genuine, it's after the fact. It's 9 months after the fact. It's only his word. I mean, again, there's nothing there that says it's even true. So you got the word of Jeff. What else? Her interview, smiling and laughing and all that. What does Kiwi say? Charles Adelson could wait till the boys... You're not going to say that... What? Charles Adelson could wait till the boys are of age and then throw her under the bus for a good deal. What is all this shit about people waiting for the boys to be of age? Who's making a decision on that? Like people say, oh, maybe Wendi hasn't been arrested because the prosecutor is waiting for the boys to be of age. Yeah, right. Okay. And then this one's a bit different, Kiwi. What is this? Charles Adelson. You think Charlie is gonna give the first fuck about that? What? Why would he do that? Oh, I really want to get out on appeal, but I'll wait until the boys are of age. Well, I mean, please, you need to withdraw your idea, because please, don't defend it. Just admit it was wrong, because, come on. Yeah, I'm sure Charlie Adelson's sitting in his cell going, oh, I wonder if Lincoln is of age so I can stop my appeal. I wish I could get out of this place, but damn it, I'm going to wait until those boys are of age. I think Charlie would weigh up the moral dilemma for how they would be affected. Sunk cost fallacy. Sunk cost fallacy. I don't know what the last bit is. Moral dilemma for how they would be affected. Affected by what? They're already fucked. You know? And they're not now because they're kids, right? But in 15, 20 years, they're both going to be fucked. Whatever happens. But we really must wait for them to be of age.
And the repairman was at your house that morning that your husband died between 8:30 and 9:15. Do you agree with that?
I remember he was supposed to come between 8 and noon, and then he ended up coming on the early side.
That's when he arrived, between 8:30 and 9:15.
It's my best recollection.
Did Charlie ever say that he considered all possible options to take care of the problem being Dan Markel?
Objection, hearsay, and,
Oh.
Your Honor, may I just have a standing objection so I don't keep
You bet.
interrupting this document? Thank you.
Did he ever say that?
No.
And I believe him. I mean, I believe her on that one. Why would he say that? Can you imagine Charlie Adel saying that? I've considered all possible options to deal with the problem. He would never say that sentence. She said that to Jeff, reporting about Charlie. I mean, Kapman's question actually gave Wendi the opportunity there to tell the truth, which she should change next time. Top tip, Kapman, I know you're watching.
After the murder of Mr. Markel, did Charlie Adelson take you out for a celebration dinner?
No.
Do you recall any dinner where shortly after Mr. Markel's death where you were with Mr. Charlie Adelson and vomited?
I do remember that dinner. I'm sorry?
Go ahead, I interrupted you.
After Danny died, I was terrified that someone was going to come after me or my children and harm us as well. And so
Yeah? Why was that? Why would you be? After Danny died, I was terrified for me and my children that someone was going to come after us and harm us as well. Okay? I mean, like, was it like the first time that you watched the movie, I don't know, what's a scary movie? Leon, the professional. And Gary Oldman's character, and then you thought he was in your house, but for no rational reason.
I didn't leave my house for about a month. And when I finally felt ready to leave the house and have dinner, I told my brother that I wanted to have dinner, that I was ready to finally go to a restaurant and eat a meal again. And I'd barely eaten for a full month, just out of grief and shock. And so that night, when I finally ate for the first time, they ended up taking a while before they sat us, and they sat us at the bar, and I had a drink, and I wasn't used to eating anything or drinking.
I would love to know what that month was like. And this is an interesting... You see, this is an interesting thing because it's my 100% opinion that Wendi Adelson not once ever, discussed the murder in a literal way. Right? Never said the word murder. Never said, hey, that TV appointment is a secret code for the plan, right? Nothing like that. It was all just cleverly handled with suggestion and nods in the right places and stuff like that. But following the murder, different story. Because Wendi would have had to stay in the house for a full month. Right? With the children, with her parents. Must have been a horrible month. And I think that is what she's voicing her frustration about with her podcast, her little podcast. She has these little podcasts. She says, what's it? The dishwasher needs emptying or something. She's complaining about living with her mother, basically. Complaining about how boring it is to live with her mother. And I imagine that, like when Charlie wanted to fly to Tel Aviv, and Donna said, no, if you do that, that's consciousness of guilt, and although you might get away, you'll blow the whistle on all of us, and we'll get busted. So we can't all fly to Tel Aviv. This is what we got to do. You got to stay here, and we think it's going to be okay. We've got fucking Chris DeCoste and Tara Kawas to go in and lie for your ex-girlfriends. They're working for us. And if that doesn't work and you do get busted, we'll fucking get you Josh Dubin, $1 million, and get the right jury for you. Dan Rashbaum told us all about it, and he's great. You know Dan. He brought you a little cake that time, remember? And, she would have been told, you can't leave the house. Any cop sees you out in fucking Miami within 30 days of the murder, that's it. We're done. They'll know it was us. If they see you out, in a sushi restaurant or whatever, or just running. There's a few shots of her in her jogging wear, running out on the fucking what do you call it? Down the beach in Miami, and it's yeah. What a poser. What a fucking poser, right? And I guess there's a lot of that in Miami at the beach. Posers. I mean, it's a posing place. I get it. People go there, they pose. But I just think it's so funny that all of this essentially came down to Wendi Adelson Do people have a Walkman anymore when they run? They don't do that. Just have a cell phone. Oh, but they put it on their arm. One of those cell phone arm bands, you know? Got the headphones there. That was it. You couldn't run with a phone on your arm in Tallahassee. It had to be Miami, and Markel had to go. You know. But he was really ambitious, so, you know, it was abuse. Yeah, it was really, you know, really committed to his work.
Alcohol, and I threw up at the table. The only time in my life I've done something like that, but it was certainly not a celebration.
And you never heard your brother refer to it in that way?
No.
Should we unpack this a little bit? This has had some really ridiculous speculation about it as well. The Uvia throw up at the dinner table trigger. I've had people come and say, oh, what if Charlie Adelson showed her a gruesome picture of Markel that Sigfredo had sent to him as proof of death. I don't know why those people have brains or mouths or the ability to type in my message box, because they're sick and they're weird and I don't like them. I mean, it's ridiculous. It seems pretty clear that that's the point where the first point ever that Charlie said to Wendi that he got Katie to do it and her baby daddy and his Latin King mate, you know. And she flipped because that is obviously so stupid, and Wendi is not dumb as much as people believe she is. And I mean, she's an asshole. She's a total asshole. That's different from being dumb, you see? She does do dumb shit, but she's not dumb. She's just an asshole. Charlie, on the other hand, is dumb as shit, right? Real dumb. Dumb like a... less than a chimp. Dumb like an iguana. An old iguana. Born in captivity. Never wants to go outside. Slow. It seems pretty clear that the Uvia throw-up trigger was Charlie sharing for the first time, and please, if anyone wants to come in and say, oh, but what about the beach meet when they all had a last-minute planning, please do me a favor and do yourself a favor and go back and look at the reference material and realize how pointless your opinion is, because I'm not even going to argue with it, because that would be even more pointless than your opinion existing. What else could it be? Because the other thing is, it's nothing to do with alcohol, because, you know, Wendi Adelson is a total fucking alkie. You can tell by looking at her. Thorough, dangerous level alkie. Booze, 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 all day booze, right? Worse than Sarah Byrne. Worse. And even more angry. Sarah Byrne was like an angel. So there's no way that she sat in there and got really drunk and that's what caused her to throw up, right? Because she can take it. So the only thing, let's go to the comments. Kiwi. Kiwi's good value. What are we doing here? Daphne, hello. Jill Jane, good to see you too. Here we go. We've got some hair knowledge from Michelle. Michelle believes she had a chemical straightener done for this trial. Maybe not for the trial, but before the trial. We'll come back when you've got an accurate date, Michelle, please. We have standards. I get humidity with my hair. Look, music by Brian. Hello. Okay, Kiwi says, Wendy's worldview is fundamentally self-centered to the point that she would have a mental breakdown if she ever understood how deeply her selfishness goes. But she's also smart. Yeah, but, people that do that thing where they avoid facing how bad the evil shit that they did was, because if they admitted what they did, the whole fucking world would collapse, Yeah, that happens, but they also end up being aware of that fact at the same time, They're aware that they're suspending reality by not addressing the evil shit they did, right? So, and then they kind of end up getting a kick out of it. So I don't know. Let's read the comment again. Kiwi says, Wendy's worldview is fundamentally self-centered to the point that she would have a mental breakdown if she ever understood how deep her selfishness goes. But she's also smart. Yeah. Yeah, but I think she does understand and likes that she doesn't give a fuck. She's aware of her shit and enjoys it.
Were you involved in any way in a plot to kill Dan Markel?
No.
Do you have any knowledge other than the statements you said your brother made or the jokes your brother made? Do you have any knowledge of anyone being involved in a plot to kill your husband?
No.
Do you know Catherine Magbanois?
I have met her before.
How do you know her?
We met
Yeah, I have
one
met
time
her
at
before.
dinner when I came home and my brother introduced me to her. And I think we might have gone to the beach once with her and a friend for a few hours.
Let me show you what I've marked
Hang on.
as State's Exhibit 30.
Okay, that was a great example of what do you call it? Coaching. Nothing like a good old easily predictable question to do a little bit of coaching on, right? The question was, do you know Catherine Magbanois? Well, the reason that is easily anticipated is that she is the one on trial, or one of them. This is the joint trial, remember? Yeah, they're going to ask that, aren't they? You can imagine when Wendy and her lawyer were sitting down together thinking about what is going to happen, because obviously that happens, right? Your lawyer sits you down and explains how they anticipate what the prosecutor's going to be asking to you so that they can protect your rights constitutionally. So, yeah, don't say yes to that. Take any opportunity to exemplify or, to the jury that you barely know her. I have met Catherine Magbanois. Briefly. Once, I think. Hey, acapella, we've got a promotion for you. You are now color expert. We'll leave it up to you whether you want that to be spelt with an O or no, we're putting OR, just OR. That'll be better.
Is that a photograph of you and Catherine back then at the beach?
With her friend, yes.
Okay, and do you remember the friend's name?
I don't.
All right, is this a fair and accurate photograph from that event?
What, because the name Yindra Velázquez Mascaro is so difficult to remember? I mean, it sounds like a Disney villain. Or, something from Chekhov. Maybe not Chekhov. Sounds like a love poem by Pablo Neruda. The Legend of Yindra Velázquez Mascaro.
That looks like the three of us at the beach, yes.
Do you recall when this was taken?
I don't.
Okay, does Father's Day weekend 2014 sound correct?
So June 2014?
Yeah, but the color expert promotion, we were trying to decide whether Wendy's fake shit eye contacts, color contacts, which any cheap hooker wears from the drugstore, right? Is the same color as her, also cheap drugstore earring studs that she has on.
That's possible.
Michelle, are you any good at dermatological cosmetics? Dermatology cosmetics. I'm just wondering what kind of shine on Wendy's nose. Why is it so shiny? Like it's at least 8 times more shiny than any other area of her face. Why is that? And what needs to be done? If there's any cosmetic expert, Michelle's excellent with the hair, reliable, trustworthy. But I don't know if that just spills over. So it's hard to imagine that she could also have the same high expert knowledge just in another field. That was meant to sound like a good thing.
All right, would it refresh your memory to look at the data associated with that photograph?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. So not only is Acapella an expert at color, temperatures and tints, also good at skincare. Says that maybe it's the non-GMO organic free trade coconut oil moisturizer that she uses. Yeah. There was a while where everybody was rubbing cocoa butter on everything. I mean, that was a horrible time. I'm so glad that that trend seems to be over.
Take a look at this top block there that references this photo. Tell me if you can advise when the photo was taken.
It looks like it was taken on June 15th, 2014.
All right, and do you know where the photo was taken?
I think that's South Beach.
Close to where your parents were living in.
I think that could be South Beach or some other beach, Miami Beach, North Bay Village.
Yes.
And did you say how you know Ms. Magbanua?
She was dating my brother.
Judge, at this time I ask to introduce State 36.
Is there objection?
None for Mr. Garcia, Judge.
None for Ms. McDonald, Your Honor.
It'll be admitted.
So, which one is you?
I'm the one in the middle.
And which one's Ms. Magbanua?
The one
I think she's the one on the left.
on the left-hand side to the right of me in the photo.
And this one is her friend?
Yes.
Ms. Magbanua's friend.
Yes.
Approach and show you one more photo. States Exhibit 37. Recognize this photo?
I don't recognize that photo, but I recognize the people in it.
Okay, who's in it?
That's my brother, and I think that's Katie.
All right, is Katie Catherine Magbanua?
Yes.
And is this a fair and accurate photo of the two of them when, I guess, around the time that they were dating?
That looks right.
Judge, at this time I'd ask to move to the States 37.
Is there objection?
Yes, Your Honor, this witness is not able to properly authenticate that picture in terms of when it was taken and where it was taken, so I would object. on that.
Sustained.
Your brother dated Catherine Magbanua?
Yes.
Okay. And was that the context in which you became acquainted with her? Was through your brother?
Yes.
Do you know when they began seeing each other, your brother and Ms. Magbanua?
I have no idea.
Do you know when they stopped seeing each other?
I have no idea.
Do you know whether the relationship between your brother and Ms. Magbanua was a serious relationship?
I met many, many girlfriends of my brother's over the years. I didn't get any indication that it was a serious relationship.
Okay. He's a guy that has a lot of girlfriends.
He has had a lot of girlfriends.
How many girlfriends has he had since Catherine Magbanua?
I have no idea.
Several?
Probably.
And does he have a child with someone now?
He does have a child.
How old is your brother?
Yeah, Charlie Adelson had a lot of girlfriends. He also had a lot of dental offices, right? And why was that? Because he came up with this great business plan? No. It was because they would only agree to give him 1 day a week each. He went to every dental office in Miami and said, "Can I work here? I'm looking for a full-time job. Can I work here?" And he just wouldn't go away until finally they said, "Okay, look, we'll give you a day a week. You know, take that or walk away, because that is not changing. That's our offer." That's what they all said. So he had to travel. He had to travel up and down, across town, everywhere. And it was probably the same with the women, right? None of them could stand him for more than a day. Apart from June, who still misses him.
43?
Has he ever been married?
No.
Do you know whether your brother makes a practice of giving gifts to his former girlfriends?
I have no idea.
Are you aware of any specific?
Are you asking me to speculate? Compared to other people's ex-girlfriends, or... Couldn't tell you. Don't know.
Gift he's ever given to a former girlfriend?
No.
Do you know Sigfredo Garcia?
No.
Have you ever met him?
No.
I want to ask you about the week.
Where can we find some reports about... Oh, hang on. Something changed. Where can we find some reports about Wendi first seeing the Facebook post that showed a picture of Sigfredo Garcia and announcing his arrest for the 2014 murder of Professor Markel in Tallahassee, Florida? Because apparently her reaction was hilarious and predictable, but mostly hilarious. And I'm trying to remember what it was. But you can imagine, right? Because Sigfredo, you know, his whole thing is looking like a bad boy when he gets his photograph taken. That's his deal. So his mugshot would have been great for Wendi to work with, right? Who is that scary man? Is that the one that's coming after my kids? Yeah, I'd love to see what we could find out about that and who she reported that to.
Prior to Mr. Markel's murder, like June 30th through July 10th, 2014, were you in South Florida that week?
I know I was in South Florida for my father's 70th birthday. My dad's birthday is July 5th. I don't remember if his party was on his actual birthday or a little before or a little after, but I remember I went down for his birthday.
Can you tell the jury whether or not you were in South Florida on July 1st, 2014?
I couldn't say for sure.
Okay, but it would
I
be
may have traveled that day. I don't remember exactly when I went down. I only remember I was there for probably about a week and that I went down for my dad's birthday, but I couldn't tell you more exactly than that.
Yeah, I like June too. Kiwi, she is funny, and you know she's quite nice to talk to. She's she's just surprisingly down to earth. Pretty level-headed. I mean, who would have thunk it, right? But it's true. It's true. She's good people.
Your dad's birthday's on the 5th?
It is.
What month?
Of July?
Was Mr. Markel planning to leave town the day after he was murdered?
I believe he was.
Do you know where he was going?
I believe he was going to New York to visit his girlfriend.
And how old was Mr. Markel when he was killed?
He was born in 1972, and he died in July of 2014. Before his birthday's in October. He was 41.
41 years old.
Yes.
Did law enforcement in this case analyze your cell phone?
I gave them my cell phone.
Okay. And And in your cell phone, you have some contacts for Donna Adelson, Harvey Adelson, and Charlie Adelson, as well as Gibbers, who we've established as Dan Markel. Are all the phone numbers in your phone for them accurate phone numbers for those folks?
I would imagine so.
And I want to ask you about some recorded phone calls that were taken in association with.
That's an interesting question. Were all the phone numbers saved in your phone for all those folks accurate phone numbers? Do you think she just changed all of the phone numbers to spell out "fuck you, copper" on the keypad? You know, like, what would that be? 667. No, 47. What would it be? Who can spell out "fuck you, copper" as a phone number the quickest? Acapella's going to be very good at this. Come on, Acapella. Tell us the numbers and then bet them on the roulette table. Or wheel. Roulette wheel. Or any, the lottery. Just do it.
This case, did you have an opportunity to review a disc of some of those phone calls?
I did. The phone calls weren't played.
I'm sorry, hold on just a minute.
Yeah.
That's a good question, Stacey. Everybody can buy Metrics coffee right here. Boom! buymeacoffee.com/true crime metrics. We appreciate it. Also, for other people that hate coffee, and we know that's not you, Stacey, but for others, this is also very good. We appreciate it.
All right, so I provided you with a disc, correct?
Yes.
And a list of the specific phone calls and the voices on the specific phone calls that I was asking you whether you could identify.
Yes.
All right. And did you initial next to the letters of those calls that you were able to identify?
I did.
All right, I'm going to approach and show you State's Exhibit 175.
I just wanted to clarify that we didn't listen to the phone calls from beginning to end for each one, but that we were able to listen to parts of the phone call so that we could authenticate who was speaking on the phone call.
Yeah, so I have no idea about the full content, Kappelman. I don't know what it is that you're showing me. I don't know what my motions were in my long and brutal divorce, which I was relieved that didn't work out in my favor. And I don't know what is on these tapes, so don't look at me, Kappelman.
Okay, when you say we,
Myself and my attorney.
okay. So you listened to another phone call in order to be able to tell me whose voice was on the call?
That's right.
Okay, and when you initial next to the highlighted portions, okay, I guess.
Michelle's also good with a number challenge. Look at that. 3825968. Love it, Michelle. I'm going to get that tattooed tomorrow.
I should say, the calls are listed by letter and number, each call, and then I have highlighted the names that I am asking you to authenticate. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right, and if you've initialed next to that call, does that signify that you were able to authenticate that the highlighted names on that call were the voices of those people?
Correct.
Okay, so namely Donna Adelson and Charlie Adelson, correct?
Correct.
Okay, here's a test. Whatever these numbers are, I'm going to have to verify this, but would they correspond to a geo-coordinate location? Can we find where that is on a map? Because I think that's where I might end up moving to. But it seems like too few numbers, Michelle, to be... What do we have to spell out? Fuck you, Carper. Well, let's just make it fuck you, Carp. So what would it be? What would it be? We need an old school phone number. Phone keypad. Phone keypad with letters. Okay, so it would be F fuck you cop. So it's 3 8 2 5 space 9 6 8 space 2 6 7. Okay, good. So what do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 numbers. And how many numbers do we need for a geolocation? Whoa, I think somebody just bought us a coffee. Hang on. How many numbers in a geo location? Look, we can look it up. I don't know if that's going to work. One, two, three, four. No, we can't. Let's not get sidetracked. Who was that great coffee from? Let's check that. Stacy. Thanks so much. 3 cups on Buy Me a Coffee. Thank you for your lives. Very welcome, Stacy. We appreciate it.
Judge, at this time I'd ask to move into evidence states 175.
There's an objection from Ms. McElhenney, Judge. I
Your
can't,
legal objection.
Your Honor, I think it would require a speaking objection, so I'm not sure how you'd like to handle
State
it.
your legal objection.
The legal objection is going to be relevance at this point and improper foundation.
All right, I'll overrule that objection. No, admit, State's Exhibit 175.
I want to talk about your location on the day of Mr. Markel's murder. You know that law enforcement looked at your phone and sort of looked at your movements that day?
Yes,
Okay. And that information indicates you were home at the Aqua Ridge residence at approximately 12:27 in the afternoon that day. Is that correct?
I don't remember exactly what time, but that sounds right. I know I had left to meet some friends for lunch, so I guess I was home until that time. That sounds right.
All right. So it seems like kind of around lunchtime, about half afternoon.
Sure.
All right. And then shortly after that, at 12:29, It appears you were traveling on Centerville Road.
Correction, Michelle, it's Stacy, not Spacey. That's someone else.
Is that a normal way that you would ingress and egress from your Aqua Ridge residence?
That sounds right.
All right, and when you left your residence, you said you were going to lunch. Did you go directly to lunch?
No, I stopped and made a purchase for a party that I was supposed to attend first.
And what was that purchase?
It was my first time purchasing bourbon. It was for not a bridal shower. It was for a bachelor. No, it was for a wedding party, but it was the bride and groom together, and they had asked for people to buy certain alcohol to help them.
Like a stock the bar party?
A stock the bar party. I forgot
Yeah.
what it's called.
Okay. And do you remember what type of bourbon you purchased?
I don't.
Does Bullet bourbon sound familiar?
Maybe. It was,
All right.
they had a list of what they wanted, and so I asked the person at the store if they had whatever kind it was.
Okay. And do you recall where you...
This whole concept of a stock the bar party sounds like a fucking rip-off to me. Not only do you have to go to someone's house, which is like, ugh. Does anyone like that? Going to someone's house? And then being in their space? It's horrible. Horrible thing to do. Horrible way to spend the day. Or any amount of time. You know? And that's supposed to be the thing that I get for bringing you a nice bottle of whatever it is. That's supposed to be the deal. It's a stock the bar party so that everybody can bring us, a nice bottle of whatever it is. And in return, we're going to have nibbles and a get-together with, a bunch of people that know each other sort of secondarily. Great. How many times is the question, what do you do, used at one of those parties? Frequently, I'll bet, right? Which is the worst question to ask anybody. It always has been, right? What do you do? Fuck off, that's what I do, Don't ask. Don't ask. Yeah. I've never been to a stock the bar party or thought of putting one on, myself. Because even as the host, with all that free liquor that you're going to get, you've got to put up with people coming around, right? So you've got to sanitize and organize something for people to do and where to put their coat. Fuck off. I'll just go to the store. You stay at my house. No, you stay at your house. I'll stay at my house and we'll just each buy our own shit, okay? Stock the bar party. No one wins. No one wins. Apart from the liquor store owner, right? Who laughs all the way to the bank. He doesn't care who pays.
Went to purchase the alcohol.
I think I went on Thomasville Road at ABC Liquor.
Okay. Is there a reason you went to that particular store?
No,
Is there a reason that you went to the 8th furthest place away from your home? With 7 locations that were more convenient and en route to your original destination? Is there a reason that you went 8 miles? Oh, it wasn't that. It was quite a way. It was a number of miles out of her way on that busy morning.
I don't know many liquor stores. That was the first one that popped up.
All right. And you made that purchase according to the receipt that was in your vehicle at 12:49. Does that sound about right to you?
That sounds right.
Okay. And did you make any stops between leaving your residence and going to the liquor store?
Maybe I purchased gas?
I don't know if you did or not, but I'm referring to your visit to the crime scene.
I did not visit the crime scene.
You did not pull up to the crime scene tape on Truscott Drive?
No. I was driving on Centerville Road, and sometimes I would take the shortcut through Truscott.
Yes, ma'am.
But when I was driving on Centerville Road, I saw some sort of tape or obstruction, and so I didn't turn.
Okay. And then you went from the liquor store straight to the restaurant?
Yes.
All right. And what restaurant was that?
What was the name of that restaurant?
Mosaic?
Mosaic.
Okay. Have you seen the photographs that were taken of your vehicle?
I have not.
Yeah, you got to wonder, who said that? Who said that? Jill Jane says, I wonder if Harvey is still sending him money for commissary. I'm sure he is. By the way, do you know how much Donna Adelson spent on phone calls during her time in Tallahassee, Leon Detention Center? Leon County Detention Center. I think it was about $12,800 or something. Quite a lot. It stacks up, doesn't it? That's just phone calls. It's going to be the same again on commissary, probably. So already, and that's just the year and a half almost 2 years, that she was in Leon. Charlie was there for, also about 18 months. So commissary and calls between the two of them, just to get to the point where they go to prison. Both of that is just up until guilty verdict, right? You're already up to $100,000. And that's just on phone calls and commissary. That's not lawyers for both of them, and travel, and special fucking detectives to go over the wiretaps, private stuff, private eye, and whatever they were doing, investigators. Imagine the money that just Donna and Charlie getting life sentences has cost Harvey Adelson. I wouldn't be surprised if the coffers were running bare, by now. Between the two of them, everything involved, I'd say it's getting very, very close to $10 million. Do you disagree? Do you think that's too much? I'd say Charlie's alone was 5, and Donna's wouldn't have been quite as much. But getting close. Sorry for the crunching. Yeah, Daphne says very much dislikes going to someone's house. Who thought up that idea, huh? Do you remember when people would say to you, "Oh, we have people coming round. We have people coming over tonight." People, what? When did this get arranged? Yeah. How long are they going to be here? And what's worse, going to someone else's house or having people in your home? Well, they're both awful. What are the pros and cons? I suppose when you go to someone else's home, you don't have to clean up, right? Kind of. but you know, you also don't have any real rights while you're there. You're going to have what's offered to you, which can be good, can be good. Sometimes someone offers you something and you have it and it's great, but other times it's awful and you hate it and you have to pretend, don't you? You have to say, oh, no, it's really good, really good. Fuck off. Why am I having to lie? Why is this being put on me all of a sudden? You know, I don't like it. I don't want it. I don't want another one. I didn't want the first one. I don't want to be here. Everybody feels like that, so why is anybody pretending like they don't? And people report, don't they? You know, people say, oh, we went round to, you know, so-and-so's place, fantastic place, oh, beautiful place, beautiful place. And she had this imported prosciutto. You know, whatever they say that's good about it, they're lying. I think all of that stuff is going to stop happening, you know. Just in society, people are going to finally just stop doing shit because it's on TV, right? People are going to start waking up and saying, I don't want to go to someone's house. I don't want people to come to my house. You know, and it'll stop happening someday soon. Good.
That looks like my car. That looks like bourbon, yeah.
Who had your kids the morning that Mr. Markel was killed?
The kids were at preschool.
But I mean, at what home did they wake up that day?
That morning, I think they were at Danny's house.
Did you stand to gain anything from your husband's death, like financially?
No.
Do you know how much the lawyers that assisted you with the divorce process and litigation that followed the divorce, do you know how much they cost?
How much my lawyers
How
or
much you
Danny's
spent on
lawyers?
lawyers, yeah.
I honestly don't remember.
Fair to say it was a lot of money?
It felt like a lot of money to me.
How many different lawyers did you have during the pendency of your divorce and the litigation that followed?
I had 3.
Do you know how many Mr. Markel had?
I don't remember.
Who the fuck goes into a divorce with 3 lawyers working together? Why not 8? I mean, it's like Mr. Burns, right? Has when his lawyers and he just crushes. We need to crush this guy. Give me 3 high-powered attorneys now. But he just didn't give up, did he? They thought he'd be intimidated by their wealth, by their flex, by their big old 3-lawyer legal flex. But sadly, he could not be intimidated. He walked straight in there and dealt with it. Legally.
Do you remember your mom suggesting a plan to offer Danny $1 million to allow the relocation of you and the children to South Florida?
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled.
I'm sure I knew about it at the time that it happened, and then I had my memory refreshed about it recently.
Did you ever make the offer to Mr. Markel?
No.
Did you move to South Florida after their father was killed with the children?
So after he was killed, I packed a weekend bag and went to South Florida for what I thought would be a couple of days, maybe a week. My son's birthday was July 29th, and I thought we'd be back in Tallahassee by then.
Did you
And-
ever come back?
I did come back a few times, but not permanently.
Okay, so you ended up moving there permanently.
I wouldn't say it's permanent, but I'm living there right now.
Okay. Well, it's been 5 years.
It has been a while. I've been exploring options for employment in many different places.
Okay. And when you initially left to go to South Florida, was that the same day as the funeral service for your husband?
No.
Was it the day after?
It might have been the day after or the day after that. I don't remember.
Did you change your children's last name from Markel to Adelson?
You know, it's really in this death match of Wendi, Georgia. Wendi despised Tallahassee, right? Or Hiawassee, or whatever. And Georgia Kappelman is the epitome embodiment of Tallahassee. She's Tallahassee through and through, right? She speaks for the city. She is Tallahassee, right? So Wendi is being asked, little questions. And when she says things like, yes, I have been living in Miami a while. I've been exploring opportunities, a lot of opportunities in all over the place for employment. Big opportunities, exclusive opportunities, opportunities you could never dream of, Kappelman, because you're Tallahassee and nothing.
I did.
When was that done?
So after Danny died, there was a lot of press coverage, and CNN put pictures of my children's faces unblurred on national television. Newspapers put their names without any consideration to the fact that they're children. And
I
I thought
appreciate that, but the question is when did you change their names?
when they started school, I registered them under my name, hoping it would keep them safe.
And was
then
that approximately a year after their dad was killed?
it was whenever I registered Ben for school, so it was soon after. But I didn't legally change their name until after that.
Okay. And where did they start school? When you say you changed their name when they started school, was that here in Tallahassee or somewhere else?
No, it was in South Florida.
Has anybody been to the whatever department it is where you would change your name or your children's names? Because I'd be interested to know how that works. I would assume that you it's like going to the bank clerk or to post a package to the post office, right? That you go up to the desk or what do you call that thing? The balcony, is it? Where there's like a row of different places where you can go and stand. You don't call it a desk, you call it a what? A fence. I don't know. People go up to the fence and they hand in their form and they are verifying ID and maybe ask some questions like, what is the father's name? And where is he? Oh, he's dead? You know, she would have had to have likely produced a death certificate for the father at that name-changing situation appointment, right? I mean, it would have come up. And she would have loved that, wouldn't she? Possibly, maybe. Where's their dad? He's dead.
So that fall, they started regular enrollment like you would in the normal beginning of the school year?
That's right.
Okay. And did you also eliminate your older son's middle name?
When I legally changed their names, I did.
And you just dropped that from the name?
I did.
Okay. And that was a name that came from Dan Markel's deceased maternal grandmother, is that correct?
The name started with an A, which was to honor.
So funny, isn't it? It's like cleaning up. When you're cleaning up and suddenly you find an old pair of socks and you think, fuck, how long's that been there? And you say, get that out of here. And, you know, that's the same thing that Wendi did with the middle name of the child, isn't it? You know, it was like, we got to sort out this name thing. And then, oh my God, there's another one in here. Get it out of here. You know, like an old pair of socks. That name to honor Professor Markel's dead grandmother.
My grandfather, Aaron Adelson, and the second half of his name was to honor Danny's grandmother.
Okay.
So we lost an honor to both families.
Okay, thank you.
For what purpose? You know, I mean, why would you want to? I mean, I could almost, you know, to be honest, changing the children's names to Adelson, I think I totally understand that. I mean, they didn't like each other and they got divorced and then he got killed. They're only 3 and whatever. They don't even really know they have last names. I mean, they do, obviously, but, you know, it doesn't fucking mean anything, does it? It's not like they've settled into it. They've got no bank cards with their written on or nothing, right? No driver's license. It'll be easy. And it just makes sense, right? It's like we're going to, you know, move on with our lives now. I mean, I suppose that it's commonplace, what you would probably normally expect in this kind of situation with 2 young parents with young children that get divorced, is that Wendi would have eventually been married to someone else, or they'd have had a stepfather in that regard. And that would be normal and fine. And Markel would still be, you know, sharing the time with the children and so on. But if he's dead, why would you want to keep the boys' names as Markel? To honor their dad? I mean, that doesn't even make sense. I think it would be better just to have everybody as Adelson. I mean, that's probably what I would do. You got to think, some horrible bitch of an ex that you've divorced and your children have their last name and they get murdered. You think, I better keep the last name to honor their death. No, you change the name to your own, obviously. But the thing about removing the middle name for no purpose doesn't even make sense. And it really just feels ugly, doesn't it? It's an extermination, a deep cleanse.
No further questions.
Cross, Garcia.
Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Adelson, I represent Mr. Garcia, and I'm going to ask you some questions, okay?
Okay.
Charlie's your older brother or
I'm-
younger brother?
I'm the youngest in the family, so both my brothers are my older brothers.
And how many years older is Charlie than you?
He's approximately 3 years older.
Would you describe your relationship with your brother as a close relationship?
I would.
And the brother I'm referring to is Charlie. And just for the record, all the questions I have with regards to brothers is going to be focused just on your brother Charlie, okay?
Okay.
Charlie graduated high school,
He did.
college,
He did.
dental school,
He did.
so he has substantial educational background.
Yes.
Would you consider him to be book smart?
He did very well in his classes.
So that would potentially be a yes. What about street smart? Do you think he was kind of street smart?
I think he's good with people.
And would it be fair to say that he has a wide range of friends, different types of friends?
He has a lot of friends.
Would you say, well, are there certain friends that he goes out nightclubbing with?
I don't know. He doesn't talk to me about night clubbing.
Okay. Well, when he has social events, do you ever go out with him socially?
I haven't in a long time. I'm pretty busy with my kids. But I have once or twice gone out with him.
And is it the same types of friends that he goes out to these social events with?
He would usually go with his roommate, who's, I don't think they're living together anymore, but they lived together for a while.
Would you agree with me that your brother Charlie was I don't want to call him like a socialite, but he would frequent the nightclub scene?
I honestly don't know that.
So your single brother is a pretty handsome guy, right?
I think he's handsome.
Right. We've seen his pictures. Good-looking guy. Never been married, right?
No.
And what kind of car does he have?
For a while, what does he have? What is he driving right now?
Well,
He
let me-
likes
let me-
cars. Like he
He has a lot of cars, right? And these aren't like Hondas or Toyotas. They're Mercedeses and Ferraris, right?
drove an unmarked police car for a while.
But that wasn't my question. My question was, did he ever have a Mercedes?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, and it wasn't like a C300. It was like a 5 Series, right?
I honestly don't know anything about cars.
Well, it was the bigger Mercedes, right?
It was
Right.
big.
It was the bigger one. And he also had a Ferrari, right?
I know he had one really fancy car, but I don't remember what brand it was.
Okay. So you're telling this jury that you don't remember if your brother had a Ferrari?
Cars are really not important to me. You saw mine. I drove a minivan.
Well, but you're not your brother, right?
I am not my brother.
And
No,
you-
I knew he had a fancy car. I just don't remember if it was a Porsche or if it was a Ferrari. It was something fancy.
Something kind of fancy,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So you have a pretty successful brother, right?
He's successful, yeah.
And he likes to show off his success with his extravagant cars, correct?
He likes fancy cars.
Okay. Handsome guy, in good shape.
What do you think the jury here were thinking of Wendi at this point? This would have been the first time. I mean, I'm trying to remember whether Yeah, the interrogation had been released before this, but the jury would probably have not seen that. Few people had at that point, but after this testimony, that's the thing with this case, isn't it? Every new trial, a whole bunch of new people come on board and then go and watch all the stuff that's happened before. Grows the audience. That's why we need one more big arrest. But what do you think the jury were thinking at this point? Having been introduced to Wendi for the first time, cars are really not important to me. You saw mine. I drive a minivan. There will be people on the jury, women on the jury, that will really feel that sentence, right? Possibly with minivans of their own, that they don't even know the brand of their own vehicle. I drive a blue car. I drive a blue car with 4 wheels and 2 mirrors.
Right?
He's handsome.
And you indicated that he had a lot of girlfriends, right?
Yes.
Now, I know you didn't go clubbing with him, but were you aware that he would go to like Miami Beach a lot?
I mean,
Or South Beach?
Sure. I mean, I couldn't say how often he went out or where he was going. It's just not something I would really talk to him about.
When your brother took you out to dinner and you vomited, do you remember what the restaurant was?
I do.
Which restaurant was it?
It's called Uvia.
Okay, where's that located?
It's on Lincoln Road.
Okay, and Lincoln Road's in South Beach, right?
Lincoln Road is in South Beach.
Are you aware if your brother took steroids?
No, I'm not aware if he took steroids.
What about if your brother used illicit drugs?
I'm not aware of my brother using illicit drugs.
And the fact that you're not aware if he used it doesn't mean he didn't use it, correct?
No, I'm just saying I don't know.
Do you know when Luis Rivera started serving your brother drugs?
I don't know anything about that.
Your brother would frequent South Beach and Miami Beach sometimes, correct?
I don't know.
You don't know? The restaurant that he took you to was in South Beach, correct?
I was living close to that restaurant at the time.
And your parents had a home in South Beach also, correct?
My parents did not have a home in South Beach. They were renting an apartment.
I'll rephrase it. They had a place to stay in South Beach, correct?
Correct.
I have no further questions.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Ms. Adelson.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing today? You doing okay?
I'm fine.
You nervous?
Am I nervous?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm nervous.
Okay. Now, you stated on direct examination that you are a lawyer,
I am a lawyer.
right? So you understand that the oath that you took before you took the stand, correct?
Yes,
You know the consequences of not being truthful here,
of course.
and you also have a separate obligation as an attorney to tell the truth, right?
Of course.
Okay. Now, do you know who killed Dan Markel?
No,
Did your brother have anything to do with killing Dan Markel?
I don't believe so.
Your mother is Donna Adelson?
She is.
Gappelman's never going to do something like that. She's never going to go to Netflix and say, oh, well, we couldn't get Wendi, so now I'm going to speak freely. No. She'll maintain the integrity of the case against her for as long as it takes. There's no statutory limitations on murder. Statute of limitations on murder. And and she wouldn't jeopardize the chances of justice. That would just destroy her reputation. Even if she said, fuck this, I'm not being a prosecutor anymore, I'm going to Netflix to sell my story, man, the people of Tallahassee would turn on her. They'd they'd be outside her house with flaming torches and clubs and bats. Never gonna happen. No. I'm trying to think if there is a way that that True Crime Metrics could assist with the arrest. I mean, as the leading world authority on this case, me, could I not provide? I mean, I'm working on it. I'm trying to really pinpoint something to pass on to the prosecutors. But you also have to work around the assumptions of what might be the block to arresting her, right? Because it's not that they don't have enough. She must be being protected. But by who? And why? And why does that person have the authority to pervert the course of justice? Because if it is something like that, then, all of the top echelon of Leon County, state attorney's office, they'll all know who it is and what kind of pull they have, and they have to accept it and say, well, there's nothing we can do about it. He's part of the system. Or she. But probably he. Yeah. My only question is if it is some high up that has put, just waved the magic wand of corruption and said, no arrest for Wendi Adelson. Blocked. If anyone arrests her for this, you're talking to me. And, a person, it's so easy for a person in the right chair to be able to utterly ruin someone's career or put them in jail or whatever, right? Burn them financially. The kind of crushing weight that could be hanging over the heads of anybody who goes against a protection order of this corrupt nature to block any arrest of Wendi. But if it is something like that that's in place, my question would be, is it an older person? Is it someone that could be dead in 3 years, 2 years, whatever it is, just because they're old? And what happens then? Obviously, that might sound far-fetched or even a little cinematic. But I really could see it being something around that area. In the zone, that's the only thing that makes sense. People go, oh, well, maybe they're waiting for more evidence, hoping to get a WhatsApp message. No, I don't think so. They've had 13 years. Is that, well, no, 12 years. So, But then, DNA. I mean, stuff gets invented, but it's probably not going to be anything like that. And they wouldn't be waiting for that, right? They're not going to say, oh, well, we can't get it, but hopefully if science catches up, then maybe in some years we'll be able to do that test on that TV or whatever, you know. They're not going to be holding out for that. The only people that hold out for that are the people that get convicted and maintain their innocence. That's the last thing their attorney says. Well, you know, maybe if there's a development in science. Yeah, that sounds really quick, doesn't it? Maybe one day when science catches up, like you've got your life sentence, you're saying to the attorney, okay, what are we going to do? What about the appeal? What do you think we can have a shot with the appeal? And they're saying, I wouldn't spend too much money, you know. It's a long shot. But hey, good luck. And who knows? Maybe one day when science catches up, yeah, it just wouldn't fill you. You see, it's not waiting for that does not mean that you're in a position of strength, does it? Far from it. The opposite. The contrary. So, it's not developing new evidence. It's not waiting for science. So, what is it? It's and it's not a case of they don't want to try her with what they currently have. Kappelman has all but said that she's going for her now. In her mother's trial, in her brother's trial, in all trials, really. I mean, it escalates, and it's been building. There's a definite momentum for bloodthirst from Georgia Wendi crosses that has grown over time. This first meeting of theirs is very polite, gentlemanly, or ladylike, however you want to put it. So, what else do people like to say? People like to say, hang on, let me think. It's not waiting for new evidence. It's not waiting for the development of science. It's not that they don't trust what they already have. And it's not that they feel too weak. I don't believe that the state looks at this situation, puts on the scale, should we arrest Wendi or should we not arrest Wendi? They don't put that on the scale and say, well, we don't dare to arrest her now, because if we did, she might win, and then we'd never be able to arrest her again, right? I don't believe it's that. A lot happens after the point of arrest. A lot happens in voir dire. A lot happens in, what do you call it? Limine, right? A lot happens in limine. To make that decision, play it safe, you're letting her be free. No good. And you would still be either waiting for new developments of evidence or waiting for science to catch up, neither of which seem to be on the cards anytime soon in any reasonable time frame that would justify justify not arresting her, right? And unless she went for clearly the first thing that she would do upon arrest is apply for an Arthur hearing to say, I want bond on a non-bondable offence. And she might have a shot at getting that. And if she gets that granted, which is a rare thing, I don't know if you'd call it rare, but it's Charlie and Donna got it denied, right? It probably is rare. I don't know what would qualify as rare. It's obviously less common to get it granted because it's difficult to do. It's a 4-pronged test, right? What is it again? It's the things that the judge has to consider is the seriousness of the offence, murder, that's a big one. The likelihood of the witness to run or intimidate witnesses, interfere with evidence, criminal history. All of these things Wendi has in her favour. More than Donna, more than Charlie. Although they're all from the same family, Charlie's on record saying if they had any evidence against this, we'd have already be at the airport right now. We all know he wanted to fly over to Tel Aviv to be away, right, and just stay there. And Donna was arrested on the fucking jetway. Fleeing live, right there. Caught at the airport. Brilliant. What a great moment that was. It was so much better than on the way to the airport, right? Pat Sanford, you timed that beautifully. Oh. And they were right at the front of the queue as well, weren't they? Eager to get on. eager to get on. What else happened? Well, she'd be in a good position to get that Arthur hearing. That's what I was saying. And if she had a successful Arthur hearing, was granted bail on a non-bondable offence, rare, difficult to do in Florida. And, I mean, surely that would be all good furniture for her to use in her legal argument of her case, right? It's always better if you've not been held in prison, in jail. It's not supposed to make a big impact, but it does, right? And that's the thing as well. All of this stuff that the jury are told, you will not be influenced by sympathy or blah, 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 blah. You can take that oath as a juror and mean it and make an effort to abide by the judge's instructions. But, sorry, you can't consciously decide whether or not you're swayed by sympathy. There's shit going on subconscious that you don't even know about. I mean, we're influenced. You could be influenced by the color of the prosecutor's jacket. Of course, with Georgia Kappelman, that never disappoints. But some people might be upset if a prosecutor is wearing a yellow jacket or something, you know. Just because that teacher at school that used to beat them had a yellow fucking jacket, didn't he? Thug.
Where is she right now?
Right now, she's with my children
Not in
In-
Tallahassee.
in Miami.
Okay, she's not in jail?
No,
She's never been arrested before?
no,
Okay. She's not even testifying in this case, is she? To your
No.
knowledge?
to my knowledge, no.
What about your brother Charlie? Is he in Miami right now?
He's probably in Fort Lauderdale right now?
Okay, but he hasn't been arrested,
No,
hasn't been charged,
no,
and he's not testifying in this case, is he?
no.
Okay. Are you aware if the state has attempted to subpoena them to come to court?
I believe they have received a subpoena to come to court.
Okay, and it was for them to come and testify in this trial, or you don't know?
I don't know for certain.
Okay, but you know they've received some form of subpoena?
I heard about that.
Okay. When is the last time you spoke to your family? Your mom, in particular?
This morning, I called to check in on the boys.
Okay. How is your relationship with your parents now? Is it estranged in any way, or you still have a good relationship with your parents?
I still have a good relationship.
What about your brother Charlie?
I still have a good relationship.
When is the last time you spoke to Charlie?
Probably last week at some point.
Okay. Now, you had mentioned that Charlie is a father.
He is.
When did he have his child? Is it a boy or a girl?
Oh, God. You know, one day, that ramen noodleson is going to grow up and realize that he only came into existence due to his shitbag murdering father having a last-ditch attempt at an idea to escape culpability for his actions by, you know, having this kid and hoping that the prosecutors will say, oh, well, look, he's straightened up. Was a murderer, but he's now a dad. So, we'll let him be. No, look at him, he's playing ball with his son and everything. There he is in the pool, big splash dad. You know, bomber dive, whale dad in the pool with the boy. Leave him be, leave him be. Used to be a murderer, now a dad.
It's a boy.
Okay.
He was
You know, because you hear about some people like that have been born due to a rape, or we're supposed to call it a grape because of the algorithm. So people that find out that they've been born due to a grape have a complex, don't they? They go, shit, you know, and I don't know, possibly all sorts of issues could come up, right? Self-loathing, even hatred of the mother, the grape victim, and or the father, the one who committed the grape. And it's the same with that ramen noodle guy. You know, he'll grow up and go, yeah, I was just, you know, I'm the product of my dad trying to get out of jail. And it didn't even work. Great. That's my only meaning in this world.
born in December 2017.
Okay. So about, I would say that's over a year after Miss McBanwell's arrest.
I couldn't say.
Okay. Do you know who the mother of that child is?
I do.
Who is she?
You want her name?
Yes.
Her name is Bree Price.
Okay. And is he married to her now?
He's not married.
Are they still together?
Depends on the day.
And do you know if he has any other girlfriends at this point?
I have no idea.
All right. Have you been keeping up with the media coverage in this case?
I don't watch any media related to this case.
Okay. So, but you are aware of the attention that has been brought on this case?
I'm aware only because of the constant death threats that I receive, yes.
Okay. So just to specify, you haven't watched any of the specials that have been on air about this case?
I have not watched any of them.
Do you know if your parents have watched any of the specials on this case?
I advise them not to. They may have seen bits of them, but I don't know for certain.
What about your brother Charlie?
I don't know.
Did you watch the state's opening statement in this case?
I did not.
Okay, I advise them not to. They may have seen bits of them, but I don't know that for certain. Yeah, Ramen Noodleson. It's Charlie Adelson's son is called Roman Adelson, so we changed it because he's in jail and always eats ramen noodles, and we changed his son's name to Ramen Noodleson. You know, so they can have dinner together.
Did not.
I did not.
Okay. So you're not aware of what the state's theory is in this case?
I'm not.
Now, you mentioned on direct examination something about listening to some recordings that the state provided to you.
Yes.
Okay. Is that the first time you ever listened to those recordings?
Callie K, 84. Hey y'all, how you doing?
Yes.
Do you know what those recordings are about?
There are many, many recordings.
Okay. Did they give you all of the recordings?
I don't know. I listened to what I was given, but I don't know if there's more.
How much time did it take you to listen to the recordings that you were given?
Again, I didn't listen to the entire thing, so probably about an hour to go through all of the recordings and listen to excerpts of each of them.
Of each of them. So you're not aware if the state gave you all of the recordings that they provide, that they have in their possession?
I have no idea.
Okay. Did they have you listen to any recordings that occurred before April 19th of 2016?
I don't-
2016.
So I'd have to see the document to remember the exact date on it. I do remember my birthday's in April, so I remember the dates being close to that, but I don't remember exactly.
Did they ask you to listen to the phone call where Charlie Adelson is talking to Miss Magbanwa about work?
I listened to something.
It's the same.
So it's fair to say that they only let you listen to portions of the phone calls that they think are important?
I was given conversations and I listened to some of them to authenticate voices, but I don't know. I imagine they thought it was important for me to listen. That's why I did.
Did you listen to a phone call?
Ask your question, don't answer, fill out rule, please, ma'am.
That will be wrong if questioning things.
Let's go that far.
A divorce. It wasn't the first time I asked for a divorce, but it was the last time. And told him that I would see him when he got home. Not home, but back to Tallahassee. and then I did leave the papers for him, but I didn't leave town. I was still in Tallahassee.
Okay. So he was actually aware of like that you were going to be seeking a divorce before you actually delivered the papers to him?
I had asked for a divorce several months earlier.
Okay.
That's when we started going to counseling. And he told me that if I tried to get divorced from him, that I could leave with the clothes on my back and that he would take the kids and that I would be penniless. And so when I actually asked for a divorce, I thought it best not to be there.
I love it, you know, when people lie like that. Oh, look, there was a coffee an hour ago from our good friend and colleague on the mountain. Thank you, On the Mountain, for this great coffee. We appreciate it. What happened to our coffee pop-up? It usually pops up. Well, okay. Well, great. Good job, On the Mountain. And I totally forgot what I was saying.
So is it fair to say that this was not a mutual thing between the two of you, that Danny did not want a divorce?
I don't think he wanted to get divorced.
How close is your brother's relationship, Charlie Adelson, with your mother, Donna Adelson?
I think they're close.
Would you characterize their relationship as closer than you are with your mother?
Yeah, they're like a weird couple, you know? They're like a mother-son couple. It's sick. I mean, sometimes it feels almost sexual, right? Why is that?
No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I do think they talk more frequently than I do, but I don't think closeness always has to do with the frequency of communication.
And you had said on direct that your parents were not happy with Dan Markel's behavior during the divorce.
No, they didn't think he was treating me well.
And is this just Donna Adelson, your mom, or was it both Donna and Harvey Adelson?
I'm sure both of my parents felt that way.
Did they ever express those feelings to you?
Yes.
Did they call him names?
Yes.
Okay. Did one parent do that more than the other, or it was consistent between the two?
I think it was consistent between the two.
Okay. What kind of names did they call him?
I mean, I've had my memory recently refreshed, so I saw things, but my memory is, I don't remember name calling, but I did recently see emails where they called him names.
Now, after the divorce, you started dating
I did.
other people, right? When is it that you had your first, I wouldn't say serious boyfriend, but your first boyfriend after Dan Markel?
Probably within a month.
Okay. When did he, if you know, did he start seeing anybody else after the divorce?
He did, but I don't know when it started.
Okay. And is that Amy, or was it some other person?
I know about Amy, but I don't know if there were other people before Amy.
Did you know what, at the time of the murder, do you know what, if any, future plans Dan Markel had?
I couldn't really say about his future plans, but I felt like by then he and Amy were pretty serious, and he was trying to spend as much time in New York as possible.
Do you know if his intention was to, and it's only if you know, it was his intention to remain in Tallahassee, or do you know if he was planning to leave the state?
I think he always planned on leaving Tallahassee. It was just a question of when.
Okay. Do you know why? Did he have an aversion to Tallahassee, or
No,
just...
it wasn't an aversion to Tallahassee. He was a very ambitious person, and so from the moment we arrived in Tallahassee, he was always looking for a stepping stone toward a better university where he could teach.
And he took a very special interest in what he did, which is he's a law professor.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense. He went to Harvard and Jerusalem Hebrew University, and then came back to the States. Had a great, run of experience, and then thought, I'm gonna start at the bottom, in the worst town. Yeah, that'll be just the thing to get on the right career track. I mean, he could have written his ticket. I think he was perfectly happy. I mean, sure, maybe one day he would have liked to lectured at Harvard, or as a bit of a, what do you call it? A resident professor at Harvard. That's his alma mater, but I think he was fairly happy in his job. Traveling up to New York to give the lectures, doing the evil rabbi case, and then something in Benton Hills, nice neighborhood, well-to-do, raising the children. Something easy. Tallahassee's easy. Guidebook says it's a great place to raise kids if you want them to talk like that, which is fine nowadays.
He graduated from Harvard, and he studied criminal law.
Right, that was his specialty.
Okay. And did there come a time where you were dating someone by the name of Jeffrey Lacasse?
Yes,
You know who that is?
I do.
Do you remember when you started dating Jeffrey Lacasse?
I don't remember exactly, but 2013.
Little fuzzy on the dates. I don't remember exactly. I remember cock. Lots and lots of cock.
Okay. Do you remember how long you dated him for?
I remember it was less than a year, but probably more than 6 months.
Were you dating him at the time leading up to the homicide, which would be July 18th, 2014?
Funny, that was the week we broke up. Yeah, that was the week I broke up with him and went no contact randomly. No, I had been stirring and playing with his emotions for some time. Purposely making him jealous, being increasingly obvious about my orchestrated infidelities, gaslighting the shit out of him until he finally broke after I left my day planner out on the table on purpose, open, with Daniel Sachs' number covered in love hearts, doodle love hearts, like a moron schoolgirl. Glitter pen love hearts over Daniel Sachs, over all of the, I dot the I's of Daniel with a glitter gel pen love heart, okay? It was that sort of deal. I left that planner out on the table. Purposely, so that he would have a confrontation with me, albeit pretty minor, so that I could then go back to Tallahassee, inflate it to a thing that I was so concerned about that I had to go and have a long conversation with Jane in the park, so that she would be well prepped to know pre-murder that Jeff was in a dangerous, jealous mood. So that the idea that Jeff might have had something to do with this wouldn't have to come from me. If that's the thing that Kappelman needs to show to the jury and the grand jury, That's one of the biggest, well-laid things that Wendi did herself, right? Many things were handled by other people for this murder. The Latin Kings, Katie, Charlie, Donna. But there's a ton of stuff that Wendi did herself. In fact, maybe that is going to be a good list to make, right? The stuff that Wendi did herself in this story. And then we could do that for each character, but we'll start with Wendi. Or maybe we should end with Wendi, but that sounds like a good series. The stuff that Wendi did. Look out for that. I think we'll do that tomorrow or the next day.
We broke up a few weeks before Danny was killed, or a week or so. We broke up before Danny was killed.
How would you describe your relationship with Jeffrey Lacoste?
I mean, I think it took different turns. I think it was more casual in the beginning, and then it was getting more serious. And then I was feeling more committed to the relationship. And then in late June, we had this big fight. And after that point, I didn't really want to be with him anymore.
Do you know what the fight was about? Do you
I do.
remember?
I remember what the fight was about.
What was it about?
He didn't trust me.
In terms of
He
seeing
thought
other people?
He thought I was cheating on him.
Okay. And you said you broke up, when was that?
We broke up. It would have been one of the last weekends in June.
So fairly close to when the homicide occurred.
Right.
Now, that spring break, which would have been the month of March,
Mhm.
didn't you and Jeffrey Lacoste come down to Miami?
We did.
Okay. And you stayed with your brother, Charlie?
We did.
Okay. And do you know at that time who he was dating?
I don't.
Okay. Does it sound, if I say that was when he was dating Catherine Albano, is that a correct statement or you don't remember?
I don't remember.
Okay. Do you remember having dinner with Jeffrey Lacoste at a restaurant and with your brother and that Catherine McDaniel was there?
I have a vague recollection of it.
Okay. And do you remember if this restaurant had outside seating?
We always used to go to the same restaurant, and so I know the restaurant.
Michelle, I put the link there. Everybody should join and become a Metrics member because we get more and more of them. And it's just so great to see that community build. Like Rome. Just like Rome.
It has outside seating.
Okay. And when you met Catherine McDaniel, Charlie introduced you to her as his girlfriend?
Probably.
Okay.
Definitely as someone he was seeing, right? I don't remember if he used the term girlfriend, but in a romantic kind of way.
Okay.
Not as just a friend.
And am I...
It could have been girlfriend or fuck buddy. I don't remember which one. But he would use those interchangeably all the time, frequently. He might have said frequent fuck buddy.
characterizing Mr. Charlie Adelson correctly when I say, you had said he has lots of girlfriends.
I've met lots of girls over the years, which is why it's hard to remember whether I had dinner with one person versus another.
Do you know what his thoughts and beliefs are in marriage? Does he not believe in marriage?
I don't think he's so pro-marriage, no.
Okay. Do you know how many times you met Katie? We talked about the time on the beach, and then we've already now talked about dinner.
I remember vaguely those two. I don't remember any other time.
Do you remember the name of the person that was in that picture with you?
No,
Okay. Does Yindra Velasquez Mascaro sound familiar?
no.
Okay. Now, you didn't have a really close relationship with Katie, right?
No,
Okay. Did you know that Katie has 2 kids?
I did.
Remember, Miss Kawas, we're not gonna get all the first names.
Oh, I'm sorry, Judge, I apologize. Did you know that Ms. McBanwa had children?
I did know that.
Okay, did you ever discuss with Ms. McBanwa the details of the divorce that you had before she even knew who your brother was?
That wouldn't be possible because I only met her with my brother.
Okay, so you didn't talk, your relationship wasn't a close relationship where you would talk to her about Dan Markel?
No,
Do you ever remember having a conversation with Ms. McBanwa about Dan Markel and your divorce?
it's very possible that I brought it up, but not,
Nothing stands out.
no, not at all.
Now, I want to talk to you about the time of the murder, okay? The day before the homicide, all right?
Okay,
You had talked about your custody situation with Dan Markel, that it was a week on, week off. Is that correct?
that's right.
And
at
an
that time.
overnight stay switch on a Wednesday.
That's my best memory.
So a better way to describe it would be, if it's your week, you have the boys, but on Wednesday night, they will sleep at Dan Markel, do an overnight sleepover at Dan Markel,
Right.
and then return them to you the next day.
Or return them to school and
Or
then,
And then you pick them up in the evening.
right.
So the day of the homicide, do you remember what day of the week that was?
I believe it was Friday.
Okay, so the day before would have been a Thursday.
Right.
Okay, do you remember what you were doing that day?
I don't.
Is there any way that you would have been walking down Trescott Drive with your two sons the day before his murder?
No, I don't live in walking distance, so there's no reason why I would have been walking down the street. No.
You and Mr. Markel weren't on that kind of talking or speaking terms where you would be at the Trescott home and he wasn't there?
No,
Okay, you wouldn't go and take the boys for a walk on Trescott Drive?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. And as far as you knew at that time, the kids, what school were they attending?
They went to creative preschool.
Okay, and when you would drop the kids off at Creative Preschool, do you have to sign them in?
You do have to sign them in.
Okay, and then, so there should be a record of the days that the boys would have been at the preschool.
That's right.
What time would you drop the boys off? Do you remember?
I
Is it
d-
an early morning thing, or?
I would drop them off in the morning. I don't remember, maybe it was 8, maybe it was 9.
Oh, but nothing late, like 11?
I don't think so.
And then what would be the usual time you pick them up in the afternoon?
I think it would depend on whether I was teaching or if I had court, what I was up to, but my guess is sometime between 3 and 6, I would pick them up.
So would it be fair to say that, you know, around 11 o'clock in the morning, the boys would probably be in school on a weekday?
That would be right.
Okay. Do you know someone by the name of Whitney?
I do know Whitney.
Who is Whitney?
Whitney was a girlfriend of my brother's.
Okay. Do you know who introduced Charlie to Mr. Adelson to Whitney?
I don't.
Do you know how long they were dating?
I don't.
Do you remember when they started dating?
I don't remember when they started dating.
Okay. When did your brother buy you that TV?
I remember having the TV in the house on Aqua Ridge. So sometime after the fall of 2012. And then sometime between 2012, 2013, something like that.
Do you remember making a phone call to Charlie that morning and having a conversation with him without going into the details of that conversation?
Which morning?
The morning of Danny's murder.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Judge. Mr. Markel's murder. Do you remember how long you spoke for?
I don't remember how long I spoke for.
Now, you had described your brother as a talker. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think I described him as more of a joker than
Joker.
a talker, but he does
you-
talk.
Do you remember the circumstances under which he made that statement that the state talked about hiring a hitman, but instead I got you this TV? Who else was around when this statement was made?
Well, he tends to repeat himself, so he kept repeating that joke because he thought it was funny.
Okay, but do you remember the time frame of when that happened? Like, was this way before during the course of your divorce, or was this after?
It would have been when he bought the TV.
When he bought the TV? And that would be after the divorce?
Well, not after I filed for divorce, right? But not
Okay.
after the divorce was finalized. So sometime after, I really don't remember when I got the TV, but maybe sometime starting with the fall of 2012, sometime around then, but it could have been 2013.
Do you know, now your parents' apartment on South Beach, are they still living there?
No,
Okay, so they moved.
they did.
At the time, do you know how much their rent was in that apartment?
I have no idea.
You said they did not own that property?
No,
Okay. And now you said that you stayed in Tallahassee after the homicide.
I stayed for a few days.
Okay. And do you recall if Detective Isom tried to call you
After I had left,
before you left Tallahassee, but after the memorial service for Mr. Markel?
he did not call me before I left Tallahassee, no.
Okay. Did he try to call you?
He called me when I was already on the road,
Okay.
about 4 hours away from Tallahassee.
All right. Did he ever try to talk to you again?
No,
As a prosecution? When is the first time the prosecution reached out to you to speak to you about what happened?
I don't remember ever talking with the prosecution.
Let's go sidebar.
She knows it's wrapping up. She's like, yeah. Did good. My lawyer did good.
Proceed, Your Honor? Okay. Do you know if Detective Isom ever tried to reach out to your parents?
I don't think he did.
Do you know if Detective Isom ever tried to speak to your brother Charlie?
I don't think he did.
Yeah, he did phone my dad by accident. He was putting in an order for chicken. Big family bucket. But it was the wrong number. Stupid cop.
Now, you are testifying today under a state subpoena, correct?
Correct.
And that state subpoena gives you immunity for your testimony, right?
Yes.
Can you explain to the jury, since you're an attorney, what immunity is?
Immunity is freedom from prosecution.
So that means that anything you say today can't be used against you if the state decides to arrest you later on.
The state isn't going to decide to arrest me.
Yeah, don't be stupid, Tara Kawas. The state, the little state, arrest me. Arrest fucking me. No.
Do you know if they consider you a suspect?
I don't know.
I don't know. Consider me a suspect. I don't know. I don't care. I'm I've got a deal.
Now, the life insurance policy that the state was asking you about, have you received any money from the life insurance policy from Mr. Markel?
I don't know if maybe in the beginning, the life insurance that Danny owed me about $100,000 when he died. I do think that his family made that disbursement. I don't know if they paid that through the life insurance policy, but other than that, there's been, the life insurance policy is money put away for the kids. I've never seen it.
Do you have access to that, or you have no control over that?
I have no control over that.
All right. All right, and I have, where did you say, so your boys are now down in Miami with your mother, correct?
At the moment, yes.
Okay. And you stopped letting Danny's parent, or Mr. Markel's parents, see the boys, is that correct?
2 years after Danny died, I stopped visitation.
Okay, do you have any intention of letting them see their grandchildren again?
I
bet that was fun. They've played right into my hands. Now I have a tangible reason to remove the grandparents. We've already done the names and the town and, the memories. That's all gone. But now we can get the grandparents out of here as well. We don't even have to wait for them to die. This is perfect.
do. We've actually been in discussion the last few weeks.
Yeah, I had my people contact their people, and their people are going to get back to my people who are going to tell me when.
No further questions, Judge.
Redirect.
How many times have Dan's parents been able to see your boys in the last 5 years?
In the last 2 years after they died, they've been able to see them every time they've asked to see them.
Okay, what about the last 3 years?
Since 2016, they have not been permitted to see the boys.
They have not been permitted
That's right.
by you,
By me, yes.
right? And that's not through lack of trying on their part.
No, that's because of what they did.
Okay, but they want to see those boys, don't
They
they?
very much want to see the boys.
All right. And Dan Markel's sister is the, I'm not sure if this is the right word, but the executor of that trust for the boys, is that right?
I think she has fiduciary responsibility over the trust for the
All
boys.
right, thank you, that sounds right. Did you at one time hold that position in Dan's will?
Oh, before we got divorced, I probably did.
Okay, but sometime after the divorce, he changed that over to the sister.
He must have, yes.
Okay, and
That must have been a nice surprise for her, right? It sounds like that Wendi might not have anticipated that Dan, Professor Markel, had, reassigned the fiduciary responsibilities to his sister, meaning she, not Wendi, would be in charge of his his estate, his assets, or whatever it was. But she was probably expecting that, oh, that's all going to come to me. Everything will come to me. And whoops, it's got to go through fucking Shelley in Toronto. The worst place to deal with anybody. Just kidding. Love it.
did you initiate proceedings to try to fight that decision that he made to make the sister the executor or the beneficiary, have the fiduciary duty for this money over you, through the disbursement to your children?
Can you repeat can you
Okay,
rephrase the
so
question for
did
me?
you initiate any type of proceeding at any point to try to contest or fight Dan Markel's sister being appointed as this fiduciary for the life insurance for the boys?
I don't believe that I did.
You did not.
I don't remember doing that, no.
No further questions.
All right, any juror have a question of this witness? If you do, write it down. We'll go sidebar. Said your memory had been refreshed about something. What did you mean by that?
So 5 over.
Yeah, what does that mean? I had my memory refreshed. I'm sure I know about that originally, and I had my memory refreshed about that recently. Like, do you know it or not? I mean, what does that even mean? What she wants it to mean is some nebulous admittance that she did know about it, but she's kind of saying that she doesn't have a clear memory of it, but accepts that it is likely that she did. But she's distancing from any depth of involvement, and then having her memory refreshed, she's been shown something that indicates, right? There's so much wiggle room with that answer. I mean, it's not tied down to anything. It sounds like it commits, right? But it doesn't, legally. And that's her whole thing, right? Giving the impression of being helpful, honest, clear. But actually, in the very act of her demonstrating that, or giving the appearance of that, she just ties up that ugly bag of snakes and empties it on the deck at the prosecutor's feet. A mess of snakes. Snake mess.
5 years have passed since Danny died, and I'm
Speak to them.
sorry. So more than 5 years have passed since Danny died, and a lot of the things that we're talking about today, I just don't remember at all. And so to refresh my memory, to make sure that I could remember things, certain documents were shown to me, emails, legal pleadings from the case, so that I could remember what was happening at that time.
One of the jurors was a little confused with the timing. You had said you had a boyfriend and that it was not clear to them whether you said it was a month after your separation and filing for divorce or a month after it was finalized.
Sure. So I started dating someone who was a friend of mine for many years, and it didn't become romantic until after I had filed for divorce. So about a month after I filed for divorce, someone who was a friend in my life became more like a boyfriend than a friend.
Okay. What was wrong with the television that had to be repaired?
I think one of my kids might have thrown something at it, so there was a crack in the TV.
And why have Mr. Markel's parents not been allowed to see the grandchildren?
Well, they were allowed to see the grandchildren for 2 full years, and I used to cook meals.
You got to think, how many visits is that? Probably more than one a year, right? They might have been coming down quite, say 4 a year, 4 visits a year, every 3 months. Wouldn't be more than that, would it? 3 or 4 visits a year, so what, 7 or 8 visits for a day. 2 full years is a week in visitation hours, 1 week.
For them and arranged play dates. We had sleepovers. And then I found out that that Ruth Markel had reached out to a foster care agency to try to place my children with that agency. And
In the event of your arrest.
I became very worried that they were trying to take my children away from me. And so
They wanted to put my children in work camps. They wanted to throw them a shovel and say, "Get to work, boy." They wanted to break the spirit like they broke their dad's mental health and turned him into a bully. bully Markel. I told you to get these toys out of my study. My library, where I do my thinking, my legal thinking.
After that time,
You can leave with the clothes on your back and you'll be penniless. That's got all the hallmarks of a Donna Adelson, 1940s detective novel speaking style. She said she'd knock these pretty little white teeth out of my mouth. She was sitting very pretty on a beach in Maui, drinking a cocktail with an umbrella hat in the drink, or whatever. What the fuck did she say? Sitting very pretty. That's a classic. Pretty white teeth, classic. And now you can leave with the clothes on your back and you'll be penniless. I mean, it's just, no one talks like that in real life. And certainly not Dan Markel. He would have said legal speak. He would have been like, I will file a motion. I mean, he'd say that to everything. That was like the polite way also, that he'd say he needed to take a dump, right? I need to pass a motion. I'm going in there to pass a motion. I might be some time.
I didn't feel a level of trust that they could spend time with the kids. I was afraid they were trying to take them from me.
Okay. Follow up, Ms. Captain.
Your reference to the foster care agency, does that have to do with an email that was sent to me from your mother-in-law?
Yes, it does.
All right, that Dan's mother.
Yes.
And that email was in reference to, in the event that you and your parents were arrested in association with this crime, could I please contact that particular agency to assist with the children in the event they have no guardian temporarily until they could get down here from where they reside in Canada. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so they were not trying to take your children unless there was an event where you were unable to care for them.
But because there's no event in which I would be unable to care for them, that feels like trying to take away my children.
Okay, thank you.
Garcia.
No follow-up question for you.
McBann.
And this email about there being possible arrests of you and your family, that came right after Catherine McBann was arrested, right?
I don't remember exactly the timeline of that.
Okay, thank you.
Further, Ms. Captain?
No, sir.
All right, you can step down. Do we need to keep this witness any further? Anybody need her any further? McBann?
One brief moment, Your Honor.
Hold on a second, Ms. Adelson.
Under subpoena, Your Honor.
All right. You remain under their subpoena. All right, so you.
Quick out the courtroom.
7 p.m. May she return home and
It's so funny because look at all the faces. I'm just going to hide this comment. Every face in this room. You just saw Krista Coast turn around. But every face in the room, Kawas, McBanoa, look at her go. Everyone in the room gets the energy, knows what has just happened. She's walking out of the room. She's just testified and she's walking out of the room. And everybody in the room knows what just happens there.
Hold on a second, Ms. Adelson.
Sigfredo too, did you see him? I mean, he had a real eye there, didn't he? Check that out. See if we can pause it right on Sigfredo.
Hold on a second. Ms. Adelson.
Look at him. He knows. He knows, and he's checking. He's got a big head, hasn't he? It's like an armchair.
Under subpoena, Your Honor.
You remain under their subpoena.
Your
Right,
Honor,
you.
Ms. Adelson has a flight tonight at 7 PM. May she return home and be
Right.
subject
You
to
can
recall?
communicate with her about any arrangements if you need her to come back, but she's free to go at this point.
Your Honor, we'll reach out to her attorney when we need to come back.
All right, last thing you're gonna get this afternoon is probably not what you want to hear, but it was a little.
Everybody knows exactly what it's like to walk out of a room like that, right? Or maybe they don't. Maybe I do. I know exactly what Wendi feels like going over the threshold of that door, past all those bailiffs, past the prosecutors, past the judge. Having the judge say she's free to go. And then out the door. I mean, it's a good feeling. I bet she went straight out and got a shot of... What do you think she got a shot of? What was Wendy's first shot walking out of the courtroom? Her and John LaRoe hit the bars, hit the sidebar next to the courthouse. And Wendi Adelson orders a shot of what? Iraqi Sambuca. Black Iraqi Sambuca. Or is that too sweet for her? Not if it's top quality, which Iraqi Sambuca is. It's called Saddam Buka. 2 shots of Saddam Buka, please.
Legal lesson that one of the jurors raised. They asked a question about the type of immunity that was discussed by Ms. Adelson.
All right,
It's really not a fact.
I'm not doing the immunity thing again, as much as I love the judge. You know, he's got the kind of voice that makes the end of the day take forever. Right? I'm just going to give you all one more legal lesson. There's been a lot of talk about immunity today, types of immunity, and blanket immunity. It's like, okay, man, we gotta go. And we gotta go right now. What are we? Almost on the dot. Close enough to 4 hours, 4 metrics hours. We'll be back tomorrow. I don't know. I mean, we gotta do wall-to-wall streams now for the foreseeable future. Let's just do it. So I like this idea of going over the stuff that Wendi did, specifically, like orchestrating the Jeff confrontation in Gainesville so that she could go back and inflate the shit out of that to make the idea that Jeff was having a contemporaneous jealous reaction, flew off the handle, turned into a psycho, said if he couldn't have me, no one would, and blah, whatever. Yeah, that's something that Wendi did directly. And of her own accord. There really didn't seem to be. The thing that I want to find out is there's no indication, no real indication that Donna or Charlie had known or planned or directed or anything, this situation with Jeff and Wendi in Gainesville having the fight and then Jane knowing about it. There's no indication ever. I mean, there's seems to be some possible indication that Charlie knew that Jeff was a fall guy because after they spent time at his house and so on. But the individual things that Wendi actually did, how many of them looked like she acted alone, and how many of them looked like the other two had knowledge? Because my bet will be that virtually everything that Wendi did that really affected things on her end had no arrangement with the other two Adelsons, so that nothing could be tied back to Wendi's actions. That's my thinking. So I think we might start going through that tomorrow evening, but maybe, I don't want to commit, but maybe we can do a daytime stream. I'd really like to start going through the Groves case. The Groves case. I rewatched that whole trial recently, and I mean, there's just so much to it. You know, it's a really good trial. The judge, it's not a good trial for the judge, but it's a great trial for the prosecutor and the witnesses. The witnesses are amazing. The murderers are just about the worst fucking people in the world that don't even get it, don't even get why they're there. I mean, it's pretty tough. It's pretty rotten case, what happened and everything. But that's never our focus. We just need to skirt over that. That might come in the day, but if not, we'll be on tomorrow night with the stuff that Wendi did. I think that should be good. Come and have a look at that. All right. Thanks for coming. Thanks for chatting, super coffee getting, super bulletproof moderating, and all the rest of those great things. Good night. Have a great day.